We got so many issues, bro.
And action.
What is good, everybody? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We're back for another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. On today's show, gotta get into some football. We've been talking a whole lot of basketball on this mug, but we gotta get into some Bears talk because the Chicago Bears have been ranked as one of the worst teams in the NFL. Let's talk about all that and more, starting now. What is good, y'all? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Make sure that y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. We're the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Gotta introduce you to the squad in the building. The squatty party. No, not at all. No, okay. We're not going with that nickname.
Yeah.
Have you ever used one of those? The squatty potty? Phenomenal.
If I did, I don't come.
Gets the knees up right in there and makes flawless, brother.
Ergonomically correct.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it is a great way to start your day.
The Breeze Boys.
The Breeze Boys, man.
Breeze Boys.
Now we sound like we're a racist group. Now we sound like we hate ourselves. You know what I mean? The Breeze Boys, like. We sound like we rally together once a month. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. No, appreciate y'all for
Get the guys together.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Sound pretty discriminatory.
And rocking with us, man. If you are new to the channel, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We got this content coming to you every day from 11 to 1, as well as short videos on the channel. So make sure that you get in tune with that. I'm your boy, Pat the Designer. We got Mr. Two Letters. If you knew better, you would do better in the building. AD is here. We also got Stefan Don in the chat. Hold on. Go ahead, show him the piece, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Think he doing
Custom Stefan the Don saying, you know, with the custom Stefan the Don jersey.
Yeah, I mean, this is the question. That's the question. If we put the you dig on there, a little boop, is it gonna go off? Or,
it's gonna go off. It's gonna go off. It's gonna go off.
Hey, man.
It's gonna go off. Hey, it's gonna go off. It's gonna go off.
Detective is wild.
Oh man, how y'all boys feeling, man? We technically did an entire show today, but then we also had to record for today's episode, or yesterday. We had to record for today's episode. This is pre-recorded, so that's why we're wearing the same clothes.
Designer locked us in the studio.
I didn't let him leave.
He did not.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You're safe. Blink twice if you need help. Don't you blink.
Help.
Don't you blink. Just gonna say it. Nah, hey. Let's get into some sports talk. Well, first off, how y'all feeling, man? How's the day been?
Man, I'm decent, man.
You've been with me, so I know how you're doing.
Big chilling over Pats.
It's been hot.
It's
been ridiculously hot. I don't know what's going on with y'all.
I don't know. We don't have any Breeze dancers yet, but
the Breeze
if we did, it would be Bikini Day. Shout out to y'all.
See, this is why, dog. I'm somebody is gonna hit us
in my DMs.
Long as it's his wife that got the
yo. Hey,
I got nothing to do with this.
I'm telling you, one day.
Choreography as well. All right, got to get the dance moves. If y'all ain't get them right, I'm setting that a stool like Diddy. Go downtown and give me some popcorn and bring it back half eaten. With a zip tie on it.
Why did we bring him back?
Hey, I'm telling you, one day somebody gonna hit us in the DM and be like, "Look, my wife divorcing me because I was listening to y'all boys and y'all said." I'm telling you, that's what it's gonna be. Somebody gonna be like, "I was listening to y'all boys and y'all told me to do this."
I can do the Star Trek, Sam. See, killer dude.
I don't know what that means. Is that code for something?
What does that mean?
That's from Star Trek. Live long and prosper.
Oh, okay.
That's Spock. That's what Spock.
Okay.
But if Star Trek, that's what Pharrell Chad and Hugo was doing. So
okay,
I'll do that too.
All right, let's get into some sports. I don't know what the heck this
I'm not a gang member, so I can know So yeah, Star Trek, because I'm a nerd. Yeah, still a backpacker. You feel me?
That's one word for it.
Yeah.
Here's the question on the table today, right?
What we getting into, Pat?
As we getting this thing started, getting it cracking, getting it moving in the right direction. Bears have been ranked as one of the worst teams in the NFL by almost everything and everybody. How we feeling about it, man? Because here's the interesting thing that goes into this. Nobody's seen nothing from the Bears yet. This is all just speculation and opinion, and it's hilarious, right? I put on Twitter, I said, how long until everybody like is just looking at the Bears as one of the darling teams of the NFL? And I seriously believe it's gonna happen. I have a pretty bold prediction, but I'll let you guys go first. What are your thoughts on the Bears being ranked by, almost everything, right? Like, we've seen Sports Illustrated, Madden, offensively and defensively. The secondary just got ranked as one of the worst secondaries.
So.
Bro, like, every outlet is against the Bears. But what are your thoughts on it, man? Like, how do you feel this team is going to go? How do you feel this season is going to play out for the Chicago Bears?
To be honest, I'm just looking at it like, everything is like everybody's unproven, so that they're I would say they're right in bringing them. I'm not gonna say that they're the worst, but everybody's unproven. Everybody's unproven. I mean, you got a receiving core that's unproven. I mean, you basically drafted the secondary, and I mean the offense, like legitimately everything is unproven. So I mean, you don't necessarily know, but I do think that this team will in fact surprise some people. I told you. Like for me, the units that's gonna jump out the most to me is definitely the secondary. I mean, from everything we heard from OTAs, and them getting started up, Jaquan Brisker and Commissioner Gordon be trying to get these mugs paid.
Batman today
is gonna show some people. So I mean, that's what I'm with. But no, they're right when they say that.
So you would rank the Bears as one of the worst teams in the NFL right now?
I mean, I wouldn't say the worst, but they're close to being last because we haven't seen anything.
I think this is the thing, right? For me, right? When I'm looking at it, I don't rank the Bears worse than some of the teams that they're playing against this season. Right? Like, the Bears situation isn't worse than what's going on in Atlanta. The Bears situation to me isn't worse than what's happening in Washington right now. I think there's a lot of new pieces and a lot of different pieces, but I'll go as far to say this. This is my bold prediction on the Chicago Bears. Bear down. Call me a homer, whatever you want. I got 36 inches of bear head back. And I want to see how y'all feel about it, right? Because here's my prediction. Year one of Mark Trestman. It was unseen, unproven. Nobody knew what was going on. Now, granted, it was off of a team that went 10-6 the year before, but how they got to that 10-6 where they were 7-1 and then basically crapped the bed the rest of the season to not make the playoffs and win the last two. Trestman comes in the next year, Bears look like world beaters. I believe they still went 8-8, right? But they looked so much better. Offense looked like it was moving, looked like things were going the right direction. Fine. That turns into a disaster. Year one of Matt Nagy. Same thing. Bears are moving the right direction. Bears are getting the job done. Offense is moving better. Make the playoffs feel like we're going to the Super Bowl. Boom. That doesn't work out. But in all those situations, you came into it with a third place schedule and third place teams looking on the other side of you. And then when things got tough the next year, because you were playing a first place schedule, you got cooked, right? I would bet that the Chicago Bears have a above average year. Now, hear me out, right? I think I had the Bears going, what did I say, 7-9, something like that?
Yeah.
But as I've seen training camp and stuff play out, I think the Bears could find 2 to 3 more wins in there just on the fact that the teams that are on our schedule, and this is not oh my God, the Bears are going to be amazing. The teams on our schedule aren't that good. The quarterbacks on our schedule aren't that good. I expect 7-9. I would absolutely not be surprised. Or, I'm sorry, no, what I say? I said 8-10 this year. How many games are there?
You said 7-9.
7-9, but that's wrong now because we got 17 games.
Yeah, I think
so. Did I say 8?
Yeah,
did I say 8 and 9? I said 8 and 9. I said 8 and 9 on that. I would not be surprised if the Bears go 10-7 in the slightest.
10-8.
No, 17 games.
Oh, yeah.
I would not be surprised if the Bears go 10-7 in the slightest. Because I'm watching how I'm watching the teams whose camps we're not in play out. And I'm like, dog, they don't look great either. Their beat reporters aren't coming out with glowing evaluations of them. You know what I'm saying? So like I can't see us being the worst team in football, but it's not because I think the Bears are this world beater team. I think it's because we're playing a third place schedule. They're going to play a little more ground and pound. Justin's going to be able to take advantage of some very poor defenses on our schedule. I think you still lose the Bills game. You still lose some of those bigger games, but I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if the Chicago Bears have a good season this year. Now, does that mean we're going to be like this season? I told y'all before the season started, right? Like, well, the season they started yet, but I told y'all before, like, even training camp or anything started, don't be fooled by year one anymore. Year ones don't fool me no more. Because teams get figured out.
Man, I was dumbfounded a little bit, only because of course, I don't feel like right off the draft, during training camp, everybody wants to, like, the consensus is that the Bears are going to be horrible. But when a team drafts a new QB, they thought they want to throw all the potential buzzwords. He's good. He's good in the playbook. He's doing all his homework. He's at every practice. He's making all the throws. He's making all the catches. He's making all the runs. He's crazy athletic. Look how big his hands are. Look how big his feet. Look how big his calves. Like they micro, like what do they check out everything.
Are they asking about the feet, bro?
They check out all these football players that mentioned, and the people they want to cape for or throw in front of us or make the golden kids they put out in front. The Bears have all these new players, athletes in some of the dirty work positions. And all of a sudden we are going to be one of the worst teams. No, get out of here. My thing is this. Everything is unproven until it is. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are purely working on potential. Your resume up until this point is purely collegiate or practice squad or whatever. Everything from here to Pop Warner is the only thing we've seen. So, blank slate. Whether you want to say our secondary will be trash, whether you want to say that Justin still has no one proven this role to, except for Darnell Mooney, fine. Underestimate us if you want to. And I hear what you're saying, Pat, about schedule, but only time we gripe about scheduling is in the NCAA. Scheduling here at a professional level, you got what you got. If it's difficult, you can't complain. If it's easy, then they might want to throw it in there to chip. It don't matter.
But it is based off
the games to win my division. And always, as a Bears fan, we play the Packers twice. I need to beat them twice.
But it is based off what you did the year before.
You
It's
okay?
based off who you beat the year before.
That's the expectation. But the caveat we have with that is this team is completely different. And I don't mean that in the we have a new head coach, a new GM. It's more than that. This team is fairly very young.
Oh yeah, it's one of the youngest teams in the league.
Bet on his squad.
Roquan.
Robert Quinn, but
We don't know Robert Quinn.
The median age of this team has dropped considerably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we are literally all in this together. Everybody is young. Most of the squad is unproven with air quotes. So that's cool. Everybody talking about how we gonna be the bottom, like near the bottom of all these, at all these positions. That's fine. Wait till y'all step up and see what happens with these Bears. We're gonna shove all those tapes right back down your throat, just like we're gonna run it down all these teams' throat when they come to the field. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, so my
I knew a bear down was coming.
I love it. Nah, but okay, so I'm just run down some of the teams on the schedule, and y'all tell me what the theme is, cause
poor quarterback play.
So no. So week 1, 49ers.
Duh.
No. I'm not talking about wins or losses.
Oh, fuck.
Week 1 they got the 49ers.
I'm sorry. So impressive.
Week 2, Packers.
Yeah.
Week 4, so I'm just going through some Giants.
Duh. Sorry.
Week 5, week 5, Minnesota.
Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Week 6, Commanders.
Mm-hmm.
Week 7, Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
Week 8, Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Duh.
You see the thing?
Poor defensive play. Minus the Packers.
All these teams to me have years together.
Oh.
You said the Giants.
But but outside of what?
Y'all literally
outside of 2 rookies.
You literally just rebuilt your whole team in the draft.
What do we rebuild?
Man, what's your boy? Your new wideout, man. That's gonna be the star.
Hey, stop playing me, dude.
What's his buddy name?
I don't even know.
I don't even know.
I don't even know. But I'm saying though.
Nobody.
49ers, I mean, outside of replacing Jimmy Garoppolo with Trey Lance,
We ain't never
that's years. Packers, obviously.
Not scared.
I mean, Giants outside of 2 rookies.
You know what? I get what you're saying.
Minnesota, that team been together.
I get what you're saying, but it's more important about the quarterback being there, right? And the quarterback has been there with his best weapon on our team as well. Now, granted, it's only been 1 year, but Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields have been together already.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, the biggest thing that the Bears have to look at when you're talking about competing with these other teams is, especially offensively, is are our quarterback and our best weapon on the same page? Yeah, they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same with all of them. And listen, Aaron Rodgers, now listen, we hold Aaron Rodgers in much higher regard than we do anybody else in the NFL. So, like, Aaron Rodgers working with Sammy Watkins and Christian Watson and those, like, we expect him to make a different level of success with them.
Right.
But I mean, most of the teams you name up, the Commanders, it's a whole new quarterback. It's a whole new system.
but the offensive pieces are the same.
Yeah, but the guy throwing them the ball is not. Like, your offensive pieces matter.
And I didn't even bring them up for the offense, because we know Carson is gonna sell.
Sell job.
Carson is like low budget Kirk Cousins. like legitimately. Carson is low budget Kirk Cousins. When you need him to mess up, he gonna mess up.
Well, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, I'm looking at this Bears team in a different light when we're talking about how they're going to be able to work together, right?
Mm-hmm.
David Montgomery's not new. Khalil Herbert's not new. Justin Fields isn't new. Darnell Mooney isn't new. Cody Whitehair isn't new. Tevin Jenkins is basically still new. Larry Borum isn't new. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's pieces that have to figure out how to work together with each other, but your most important pieces, for the most part, have been together. And then on top of that, right, like, I'm sure Justin and Lucas Patrick have been working their butts off to you know, build a rapport at that center quarterback combination. So, like, I'm looking at the most important thing is QB play, right? Of course, defense comes into that, but there's not a ton of great defenses on there. The Bills, the Packers,
the Packers,
the Vikings-ish, kind of, not really.
Yeah,
they got guys that can get after you.
The line is still there.
They got guys that can get after you, but I'm not like in fear of Justin's life versus that defense.
Patriots, Commanders.
The Bears have useful.
Commanders, I'm actually scared of.
We have.
The Commanders defense, I'm actually scared of.
Hey, we gonna see
where we don't know the Bears are so young that they don't know they're not supposed to be in it.
No, this is my whole issue with the Bears are the worst team in all of this, right? What's the difference between the Bears and the Giants? New coach, same quarterback, new receivers, new defense, new defensive players anyway, new defensive system, new offensive coordinator. Yeah. What's the difference between the Bears and the Commanders? What's the difference between...
They got a better defense.
They got a better defense right now. What? Do they?
They got a new quarterback.
They got a new quarterback.
Better defense.
Let's see.
A better defense.
Let's see.
Hey, we gonna see if Tevin Jenkins back holding up on Chase Young.
If De'Aaron Payne comes back or De'Aaron
Payne.
I don't care who they got over there.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, they got a nice defense.
Hey, hold on.
They got a nice defense, but they ain't got no quarterback. Right? It's about you know the thing for me is right. Like I just want it to be like all of a sudden, right? The Dolphins aren't a trash team anymore.
I still gotta say nobody, and I mean nobody, believes in Tua,
bro. And Tyreek does, and I tell you what, it seems like he believes.
He has to,
right? You know what I'm saying? It seems like he believes in him to the point where he's like, I gotta get this guy confident in himself. That's what it feels like he's doing, right? So for me, right, like all of a sudden, right, the Bears are the team to bash on. The Bears are the team to attack. The Bears are the team to go after. And if we're gonna grade it out and say, right, that the Bears have a lot of holes in their team, we all agree. If we're going to grade it out and say that the Bears have some issues in the secondary and that they got a lot of young people, we agree with that.
So is it issues or is it youth?
It's youth, which could be an issue because you've got guys that are going to go. But again, right, here's the thing. It's youth. How many dominant wide receiver cores are we going against this year? The Bills.
Yeah.
The Packers got Aaron Rodgers, so maybe he makes them a dominant receiver.
Minnesota. 49ers.
I don't trust the dude throwing him the ball.
49 Cowboys. Well,
yeah.
I don't know if it's the Cowboys because like I got faith in CD Lamb, but
or ace to throw to. That's one.
No,
Eagles.
Minnesota got multiple. Minnesota got quite.
Eagles
what?
What? Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and
to me the Eagles are the
AJ Brown.
Everybody else is me.
I forgot
AJ Brown. What?
I forgot about AJ Brown. That's the one I forgot.
But the Eagles are one of the better teams we mentioned. Everybody else, I'm not.
What you mean?
They one of the better teams you mentioned.
They definitely don't got a better wide receiving core than the Bills.
I didn't say better.
Bills.
Mentioned.
Oh, I ain't worried about the Eagles. The Eagles is gonna be a dogfight game.
I like how the
Dolphins.
I'm not worried.
Dolphins still.
That's a nice wide receiver.
Hey, hold on. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, that's a nice wide receiving core.
That might maybe tune in.
Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, they still got to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of that's my thing, right? My thing is there's a lot of pieces that have to go into these dudes being the dudes that we think they are, and a lot of those pieces we don't believe in. You believe in Kirk Cousins?
I believe in Kirk Cousins when it comes to fantasy. I believe in Kirk. I believe in Kirk Cousins when it comes to fantasy.
That man ought to get paid.
But when it comes down to a game that I absolutely need, I can't tell if that's him or Carson Wentz.
Exactly. That's what I mean, right? Like when you talk about like all of these great guys, it's the same thing as with the Bears. You know the difference in a lot of these guys is we believe in Aaron Rodgers completely, or we believe in Justin Fields completely different right now than if he becomes a quarterback similar to what some of the best QBs in the league are. There's some guys.
That's a fact.
There's some guys that make their teams better. I'm not saying that Justin Fields is going to be that guy. I'm not saying he's not. But what I'm saying is that when you talk about somebody who's going to come out, who's going to a quarterback, right? Very Aaron Rodgers like. I feel like the Packers wide receiving core is still going to be fine because Aaron Rodgers is that dude.
Exposure.
Aaron Rodgers, he can. All you got to do just run to where you're supposed to be,
get to where I tell you
and
to be.
The ball will be there. No matter what, you run where you're supposed to be, and I promise you, the ball will be there.
Mr. Rodgers, do not.
Hey, what's that sound? Hey, he throw the ball, they catch it. What?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, with Aaron Rodgers, it's like Muggsy Bogues in Space Jam. I quit.
The only one the Packers got on that squad is Aaron.
Yeah, that he trusts.
A long way.
What?
That gets you a long way.
Hey, you do know that guarantees you like 9 games, right?
He trying to be the Bears homer.
It don't matter.
It'll be 0-15. He like Mike Ditka on the.
Is he throwing it and catching himself
on the panel? No, I will say this though. He's got to be able. Somebody's got to be able to catch it. But I think Devontae Adams' numbers go down next season while playing with Derek Carr and not with.
That's like Carr can smack it too.
I ain't say he couldn't.
But see, this is the thing. He got more of a rapport.
Rodgers had to do all that dancing just to get it over the other.
But he has more of a rapport with Hunter Renfrow than he do with Devontae Adams.
The Raiders have good problems.
No, I ain't. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that Devontae Adams is going to be bad. I just think 1,500 might be a little high.
I know.
Yeah, 1,100 yards season.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a factual.
But that's a low season for Devontae Adams.
Hey, coming off the last couple we had,
that's a low season for Devontae Adams. So like, I look at all those situations different, right? Like I look at, for me, right, it's not just about who are the names on the field. It's about who are the names that have to work together to get the ball to make those names the names.
But even so, you brought up a lot of teams, and I know we're talking about teams we're gonna play. But in particular, I keep thinking, okay, you think of newer teams that need to gel. I'm thinking of the Broncos. Broncos just made this big, very large blockbuster trade. Got Demandum from Seattle. Oh, Russell Westbrook. Oh, sorry, Russell Wilson.
Everybody do that right there.
And I'm like, that's an adjustment. I know he's played on the West Coast, so playing in Denver is different. Playing in Mile High City is different. Having to adjust to not only the altitude, I know that's a big talking point, but as well as Russell has played with the same team since he's been drafted. He's somewhere new. That's gonna take some time to gel.
Well, I think the thing you also got to look at is right. It's different, right? So like, if you got to quit, like the difference to me is it's going to take time to gel for sure. And it's going to take time for them to learn each other's tendencies, learn like to get a relationship like Gronk and Brady got, right? Mm-hmm. Like Gronk and Brady can just be like, at this point, right? They probably could just run out to the huddle, not call a play and just be like, I'll find you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take time to get to that point.
Right.
But when you have a quarterback, especially as a wide receiver who just can, your route, you run your route, the ball will be there by the time you get to the end of your route. That makes a big difference, right? Derek Carr's a guy like that. I that's why I said I don't think Devontae Adams is going to be like awful next year. But I do think his numbers.
They got weapons.
Aaron Rodgers is a guy like that. That's the biggest question mark about Justin Fields, right? Like, is Justin going to be able to? And listen, your offensive line and all that plays into it, and that's the other reason why you feel a little bit better about Russell Wilson's situation coming in next year. But right, like for the Bears, right, like. The question marks for me on Justin Fields aren't about Justin Fields' ability. It's about his time that he's going to have to showcase that ability and what he's going to be able to improvise. Because I think if you're going to criticize anything, it's the fact that we shuffled around our entire offensive line.
Yeah.
We don't even know if Tevin Jenkins is starting at left tackle anymore.
That's a fact.
We don't even know if Tevin Jenkins is starting anymore.
Honestly, bro, I don't care who's there. Are you able to do your job? That is the biggest thing right now. I want to actually see Justin play under the right circumstances. It seems like in these circumstances that are currently built, we got a lot of young guys protecting him on this offensive line. I want him to be able to have the time and opportunity to display his talent. Then I can further use whatever adjectives we can to describe said game, how he plays. 2, I don't care who is on that line personally. Can you do your job at that position?
Well, that's the
block his blind side, block his front, the back, everything. I need y'all force field. Period.
That's the biggest difference, right? And that's the
thing.
That's the issue that comes into play, right? Can they do that?
Right.
And listen, there's a reason for the Bears' criticism. I'm fine with, like, there's a reason for the Bears are going to struggle here. They're going to struggle. Like, that's analysis. But to me, you're not telling me why the Bears are going to be worse than, and I hate to keep you, but the Giants.
No.
The Bears are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Why?
But the teams that we play, you're also talking about...
They were just as bad as the Bears last season.
The teams that we play, you're also talking about as some of the worst teams in the NFL. We play Atlanta this year. Atlanta's quarterback is Marcus Mariota. Their best wide receiver is Cordero Patterson, who had a heck of a year last year. But Cordero Patterson and
Kyle Pitts.
Calvin Ridley's out. That's the team. Awful defense. One of the worst defenses in the NFL.
Disrespectfully awful.
Disrespectfully awful.
Like that.
They out because of his mental health, correct?
Ridley sat
out because of his mental health,
but he got suspended because
for
he
the
was
gambling.
Yeah.
That's
got
a soft
suspended
call.
for a year.
Yeah.
That's a soft call.
But you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. I'm with you.
He should have.
I'm with you.
He did already lost.
Yeah, he did. He lost. I'm with you on the Denver point though, because I think the biggest question mark with them is can they stay healthy?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because I think the combo of Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy, I think that's gonna be nasty once they figure that out. Their whole thing is gonna be health, and they gotta find some way to get that defense actually in like together by the time the season starts, because once they start that division schedule, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But nah, in terms of the Bears, I mean, it's like you said. I think the biggest question with them, like you said, is with the offensive line. And then outside of that, it goes from the offensive line to the wide receivers, because you basically have Aaron Rodgers hand-me-downs, Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes hand-me-downs that really didn't get a bunch of tick. And when they did, you couldn't really tell if they were productive or not. So I mean, like, I'm cool with the criticism, but it's still, like you said, it's a wait and see game. I'm not finna.
I think it's just weird, right? Because to me, it's like honestly, like you look at the schedule, San Francisco and Green Bay, more than likely a loss versus Green Bay. San Francisco's up in the air because they don't know who playing quarterback for them yet. Everybody keep talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm like, Jimmy ain't
they said, and they said they was gonna trade him. They said, yeah, the minute he's ready to throw, we're gonna trade him.
Hey, he ready to throw again.
All right.
Yeah,
but they said, yeah, Brandon Ayuk
beating us.
No.
Come on now.
Jets or Giants beating us?
No.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, relax. You gotta pick. You don't believe it either.
No.
Look at
No.
As a Giants fan, I'm confident.
It'll lost. Vikings, maybe. That's up in the air. The Vikings got enough talent that they could beat us. I'm not gonna count.
That's a loss.
Commanders got enough talent that they could beat us. Patriots got enough. Not the Commanders, I think, is a beatable team. Patriots got enough talent that they could beat us. Dallas got enough talent that they could beat us. Dolphins.
They got enough talent on paper. I don't believe in Tua. So that's like
Lions.
Come on now.
Falcons.
Come on now.
Jets.
Come on now.
We're talking about 4 or 5 teams that we feel like we're better than.
The Jets improved, but they ain't better than the Bears.
Again, I want y'all to understand. I'm not saying that the Bears are a great football team. I'm not saying that the Bears are one of the best football teams in the NFL. I'm saying that we're not worse than the people we're playing.
Right. NFC North champions, bro. Right now.
I don't know about that.
I just said it.
I just love
Book it.
I just love his blind optimism.
NFC North champion.
I love how blinding it is that even I recognize how blinding.
NFC
dog. Hey, honestly, you need somebody like AD around, especially if you not like. Let's say you getting ready to go do something big.
Yeah,
that's your hype man, bro.
You
like that, that's definitely your hype man, bro.
Do it. Be great. Be great.
They need him in the huddle before the game.
Yeah, we got to get AD into a huddle. We got to find a way to get AD into a pregame huddle.
Yeah,
so he can just give the speech from Rudy. Or Hoosiers that he memorized.
Just don't give.
Yeah,
and then we're in there.
Throw an N-word in there.
Trying to get it done.
just don't give the. Don't give the Kirk Cousins speech,
or the Jameis Winston,
or the Jameis Winston speech.
This is a W. This is how you get a
W. They need a Ray Lewis type of speech.
Oh, AD's definitely doing the thing.
Yeah.
Not the Ray Lewis. That's swaggy down there, bro. Definitely swaggy down there.
I could see it. I wouldn't be surprised by it in the slightest. Nah, man, it's just a lot, man. Hey, listen, I don't think the Bears by any means finish as the worst team in football. In fact, I think they'll finish somewhere middle of the pack.
And Nick Wright got y'all with 10 wins.
I hate to agree with him because he's so wrong on so much stuff. And I'm not gonna lie to you, him picking us for 10 wins absolutely made me feel less confident in the Bears having a great season. But at a minimum, I said 8-9. If the Bears go 8-9 in season 1 of Matt Eberflus, I'm doing handstand.
When is the bye?
Early, I think. I think a week 5 bye.
Oh wow.
I think it's an early bye if I'm not mistaken. Bye.
That means we're 4-0 going into the bye.
Jeez.
4-0.
Yeah,
going into the bye.
No, our bye is, when is our bye? Is our bye late? Oh, our bye is mad late. It's week 14.
If they
13-0.
They go 4-0.
13-0.
If they go 4-0,
I can say, is this team for real?
No, if they go 4-0, then I'm asking that question because that means you beat the Niners, the Packers.
But it's so early. Yeah, it's so early.
Yeah,
but hey, the Niners and the Packers is a measuring stick, though.
I'm gonna be real with you. The Bears have a real opportunity to be 3-1 at a minimum.
4-0.
They have an opportunity. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the opportunity's there, right?
The losses to the Packers.
They're not granted. The Niners, I love Kyle Shanahan. I think he's a better game caller, all of that stuff, right? But the Niners, it's in San Francisco as well. Their defense is really tough, but they're not unbeatable.
We like San Fran.
We've seen them put up a solid 14, 15 points in a game and win that mug.
I think
they're a team the Bears can keep pace with offensively. Green Bay is probably an L. Texans are terrible.
Hey, shout out to Lovey for giving us Kayvon.
Those picks will love
it. Hey, shout out to Lovey for giving us Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Hey, I don't know what the world Lovey Smith.
It definitely could be 3-1.
Nah, it could be 2-2. It could be 1-3.
I'm cool. I'm cool with a 2-2 though.
I'm not overly hyped on it one way or the other. The thing that irritated me about it was the fact that it's just they're gonna be a terrible team. They're gonna be the worst team in the NFL. And it's like, you don't even, half of y'all don't even believe we're going to lose to a lot of the teams that we're playing.
Stop it.
How are you? Like, I've listened to Muggs say the Bears are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL, and then pick us to beat teams like the Jets, pick us to beat teams like you can't be one of the worst teams in the NFL and have a mediocre schedule that you think the Bears can beat.
Can I get even bolder? These first 4 games, book it. 100+ yards each game from our running game, from whoever's running.
I don't know.
100+ yards.
I think.
And two
that's not bold.
throwing touchdowns from my man Justin. Each game.
That's not bold.
Buckets.
That's not bold.
Is this your new thing?
Yes. Bucket is my thing.
Bucket.
I think
Ditka and us right now.
Yes, sir. Bucket.
Nah, Juice. See, this is I think that the Bears will have one of the better running back duos.
Yes, sir.
In the league. You know how I feel about Juice, but
bro, going dead in.
They'll have better one of the better running games in the league.
Through you,
I think this is the thing, right?
Everything.
They'll be okay.
The Bears have one stretch in the entire season. Excuse me. That I feel like they're not the better team.
Get to me.
They play. I shouldn't say not the better team. That I feel like they're not the better team or equal to.
Okay.
They play the Packers week 13.
Okay.
Philly week 15.
Okay.
Bills week 16.
Pretty tough.
And then we play the Lions week 17. Right? Like that's the only stretch of the season where I'm like, that's gonna get tough. We got the Patriots and the Cowboys. Cowboys, when we're in Dallas, that makes a difference. But the Cowboys usually blow games versus the Bears.
That's pretty tough.
In Dallas is different though. It's usually Chicago when
Dallas blow games in general. And I think this is the thing. I think that Dallas is gonna actually lose a lot more games than they're slated to win this season, just because I think that they lost a lot on defense.
They were offering everybody.
They lost a lot on defense, and the fact that you sit up there and say that you pay Gallup the money that Amari Cooper was supposed to get paid, and you say, yeah, that's the number one. And this dude been hurt over CeeDee Lamb.
Bro, why
it's just like
their secondary get off on that particular.
They don't have, and this is the thing. They don't.
I can see it.
They don't have the same offensive line like they did either.
There's not a bunch of crazy stretches. The Bears' first 2 games is tough. Niners, Packers, tough.
2-0.
Houston, we equal to or better. Giants, equal to or better. Minnesota might be tough, but it's week 5. You don't know which Kirk Cousins you're getting. You don't know which Minnesota team you're getting. And they got a new head coach as well.
Work.
Nobody talks about that though, right? They just, Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson. Nobody talks about the fact there's an entirely new coach in the building with an entirely new scheme. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of times that most sports, right, talent trumps all. Except apparently the White Sox.
Dog,
that's a bad baseball team.
When
they went real quick,
triple play.
Fundamental.
Real quick.
A 390-foot triple play.
They went in the extras, and I saw you tweet about it.
390-foot triple play. He almost hit a home run. And it turned into a triple play because nobody tagged up.
I don't care if that ball is in the air.
Did Tony look sleepy to you?
I don't.
Yo, that is the only.
When he got the extra innings and Tony got thrown out on a clear ball.
Tony was sleepy.
Clear ball. Tony was going back to take it.
Tony was exhausted. Tony was sleepy.
He was done, bro. Tony was. I'm talking about the ball had to be 8 feet outside. Tony was. You telling me you missed that? You're gonna miss that one right there. I told you right there, not you. Toss me.
That's gracious.
It's tough. Bro, like Tony he had the soup warming up in the back. He was done, bro. Call me ageist if you want to. Get the old butt off the team. But your net, are we calling this a tough stretch Bears wise though? Washington, Patriots, Dallas?
No.
I would say those three games. See, this is the thing.
Now this could all change during the season, right? If we come out looking god awful, but
the first three games are gonna tell me what I need to know about the season. The first three games because I'm playing two top tier three. I'll say four.
I can't say
because I'm playing two top tier teams off of rip, and I'm playing two by everybody's stretch. The Texans and the Giants aren't on anything.
Well, I think the difference there is right when you talk about the Niners and the Packers, right? Those are two top tier teams that have the same coaching staff, the same quarterbacks in place, which I think at this point we're talking about whatchamacallit. Jimmy Garoppolo's gonna be there. I don't know what's going on with that.
Does he play?
Hey, bro, he gave his farewells and everything, and all of a sudden now he's just on the team still. But I mean, you're talking about two guys that are already in place versus the Bears, who are trying to figure out a system on as it goes. Right, that's the difference maker. Houston's doing the same thing.
Houston don't know. See, this is the thing. Houston don't know what they're doing, and we need to acknowledge that.
I mean, Houston's doing the same thing, and they got a much worse quarterback.
Because Davis Mills had a stretch where, he played the Thursday night game, and he looked decent. And then after that, they ran with him for the rest of the season. And you got Lovey as a stopgap coach. Nobody really knows what's going on, and we need to acknowledge that.
And my problem with Lovey as the coach there is we know he don't really care about Davis Mills.
He don't.
So
he
Lovey
don't
care about the quarterback. Lovey do not care if Davis Mills is a QB or he could care less. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, right? Nobody takes that into account when they talking about the Bears. They just look at, oh well, you playing this team. You're playing this team. You're playing this team. These guys have been together. There's new coaching staffs all throughout our schedule. Matt Ryan was in Atlanta last season. He ain't in Atlanta no more. You know what I'm saying? So there's changes and differences all throughout our schedule. Maybe Tua and Tyreek and all that does work out, but it sounds a heck of a lot to me like Tyreek trying to hype his guy up, because I ain't gonna lie to you, ain't no way that Tua throws a prettier football than the dude that I watched in a Super Bowl late 90 degrees sidearm throw like he was playing shortstop, a football 60 yards and hit you in the face and you didn't catch it. Hey, you telling me he throw better than that?
And that's how you know Muggs could have did two sports. He let Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez told us he was nice.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Did y'all see that video of Anthony Edwards?
Bro,
hey, Anthony.
Tom Brady was like, listen,
hey.
You're playing. Did you see the back shoulder though?
Bro, Anthony Edwards is a freaking athlete, bro. That man is a freaky athlete. I'm talking about just watching him do it. He said anything with a ball, I'm good at. Anything with a ball, I'm good at.
That's wild to me.
Every time I see him do something that's outside of his sport, he looks pretty good doing it. Okay. I think he looked awkward. Didn't he do something with baseball? I think he looked awkward in baseball. But it still was no, he could figure that out.
Right. It was just wild because his homie was like, all right, I need this throw. All right, no problem. Dot.
Drops back, puts it up, 50-something yards on the dot. Bang.
Back shoulder. What?
Great receiver on the other side. Yeah, I mean, it's different when you're in the league, but bro, dude's an athlete, bro. He's an athlete.
And then when a GOAT said you're playing the wrong sport,
hey, yeah, he said he definitely was like, Brady was like, hey, I know you making a lot of money over there doing that basketball, but if you ever
wanna. Like, bro.
Oh man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel, as you can tell right now. breaking down a lot of stuff going on with the Bears. Here's another thing going on with the Bears that I feel like we do got to address and we do got to get into a little bit. Is Robert Quinn going to be on our team?
Nobody knows.
Like, what's going on with
Why
Last we heard, Robert Quinn was interested in possibly being traded out of Chicago because they're going through a full rebuild, right? Bears are probably just getting draft capital back in that situation, but we're getting, we're coming up to the point. This is the last month of nothing football, basically. But we're getting to the point now where you might want to know if Robert Quinn's going to be rushing on the edge or not.
The new Madden about to drop. It's time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like nobody's answered that question, and that's a serious question because he's the dude that set your Bears record last year. Like, even if he has a down year of 11 sacks or 9 sacks, like, those are important things to have on your defensive line. And I'll tell you what, it makes you it's going to be, not to say that I think the secondary is going to be the worst in the NFL, like these mugs say, but it makes it a lot harder in your secondary if you can't get to the quarterback. And Robert Quinn's a really big part of getting to the quarterback.
He's going to play.
You don't think he wants out?
I mean, whether he wants out or not, he's going to play. Unless somehow they send him somewhere, but I don't think they shopping him around. He don't play. Come on now.
Whoa.
What you got? You got some news just here?
Nah. I wouldn't.
My Twitter went up.
I wasn't talking about that. Well, it's funny that Dan Greenberg actually tweeted that, but that's not what I was talking about.
Breaking news here?
Nah,
because I was just looking at because I said something about Madden. They got mugs. Roquan's an 89. Eddie Jackson's an 87. Robert Quinn's an 84. Where's Jackson Peters still on that mug? Justin Fields 75. Okay,
75. I guess
that's a little generous right there. Okay.
Oh, really now? And Mr. Daniel Jones 69 out here.
Hey, nah, they said Daniel Jones is like a 67 or something like that. Which I ain't that's actually You might want to know if he on the roster, dog. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Big difference on this team. If he's not on the team, that's gonna spell some trouble.
They got an overall rating of 80.
Who, the Bears?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. The Bears had a great overall rating last year too, and they weren't great. What were they last year? They were like a 86 or something like that, or 85 or something like that. It didn't pan out to that.
Cole Kmet 73.
Now I'll tell you this, right? If we're gonna talk about anybody who's young that might be having a breakout year, Cole Kmet might be that guy.
Dude, I want him to so bad just because of the fact, like, this dude didn't, like, part of me feel like he getting sold just because of, like, the situations that he's been in and the fact that he's had Nagy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, because Notre Dame used to come on every Saturday, NBC. Like, Cole was good, and I understand that it's college, but, like, this dude could actually do some things if you put him in the right position. Like, he never used the drop passes. This dude blocks phenomenally. They need to put him in the right position, and I feel like Eberflus will definitely do that. Coming off the simple fact of how the Colts actually ran their offense, and they did even use the tight end when they had the chance. So I feel like if Justin actually goes in and puts in that work with him, I think that you will see a breakout season from Cole Kmet. I don't know what it's gonna be, but Cole Kmet could definitely step up because you got to think too. You've had the guys in the building to sit there and get them right. I mean, you're under Jimmy Graham, Mr. Red Zone target himself. So,
yeah, I think that's the biggest question, right? Like, what kind of step is Cole going to take? What kind of step is Darnell going to take? What kind of step is Justin going to take? I think Cole's somebody that can take a step because you're talking about usually a tight end fits in pretty well in that ground and pound game because he's able to when you go into the play action or you go into the going to run an RPO stuff, right? Like all of a sudden, like, oh snap, it's not the run. Now your tight end's just on the flat, catches it. He's able to get some easy stuff in the space, stuff like that, right? So like, I really am intrigued looking at what Cole can bring to this offense, what Cole can bring to this team. But again, right, like I'm not losing my mind, but I think if there was gonna be a breakout player, like I expect David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert to be good. They're running backs. They run. Yeah, I mean, like,
they're running backs.
And they got a fullback, y'all.
and we got a fullback.
They got a fullback.
And actually,
Got a
fullback's
fullback.
pretty good.
So we can run the annexation of Puerto Rico. We can do it.
Hmm?
You remember that from Little Giants? You need a fullback to run the annexation of Puerto Rico from Little Giants. Nobody knows that.
I do, but
Nobody knows that.
I don't know how that plays in 2022. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, it's just a play, guys.
It's just a play, guys.
It's just a play. I mean, if I run a Fumblerooski, I'm just saying.
Sure.
Anybody know? You need a fullback? I'm your man too. If you need a fullback, I can do that too. You know what I'm saying? I can do that. Just saying.
Hold up. Let me get Kid in this bug, man.
Hey, P-Kid, are you familiar with the
He can't hear you yet.
the movie The Little Giants?
He can't hear you yet.
Not just yet. Working on it.
Go. Yeah.
You're Mazel tov, my friend.
What's going on?
Are you familiar with the movie The Little Giants, P-Kid? Oh. Sorry.
What'd you say? Say it again.
Oh, are you familiar with the movie The Little Giants?
Of course.
Yes. So
He said the Bears have a fullback now so they can run the annexation of Puerto Rico. And I was like, I don't know how that plays in 2022. I don't know if you can. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the show, the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid in the building. Kid, what's good?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Jack and Flossie out here.
hey,
What's going on?
I'm gonna dip when I walk.
I have to change
I got the dribble when I walk.
my tracksuit vibe. You know, I have to add a little touch of color to it.
Hey,
Look at my man.
speaking of
The Madden doing the
speaking of
thing.
annexations, don't he look mad Dominican right now?
He really do. Hey, he really do.
Hey,
Dominicano.
P Kid look like him and Big Poppy first cousins right now, bro. What you mean, right?
I don't know.
Just hopping into the conversation, it's one of those things where it seems as if the Bears have put a foolproof plan around making sure that Justin Fields has the opportunity to learn and develop as a QB, because that's the only reason why you bring in a fullback. You got your, like, the way that system is ran is not relying on QB play. It's opportunity for him to do well, but that system is not relying on him being Aaron Rodgers by no stretch of the imagination.
But that's you know what, I'm not mad at that either, right? But I think that's how you should bring a young quarterback along, right? Like there's some times where you want to bring a young quarterback in and there's literally nothing there, so you have no choice but to be like, all right, throw the ball 60 times and let's see how this looks. Right. And sometimes they just figure it out, right? But in the Bears situation, you got two running backs there. You got guys. Yeah. Your team was actually a better run block team than it was a pass block team, which should have been the main reason that you were like.
You got something real hilarious you want to say.
Who? Oh, Steph.
No, I'm good.
I'm just saying, like, that should have been the main reason that you were trying to run the ball more than you were trying to pass the ball, right? Like, you essentially sent Justin Fields out there to get killed time after time after time for what? Because you wanted to prove that you could throw the ball downfield. Guess what? It was a struggle and you couldn't do it. So, like, I like that Coach Flus is coming in a little bit different. I like that he's coming in and kind of just the whole thing that we were talking about, right? Like, who's going to be that breakout player for the Bears this year?
Mooney.
Good hope, Mooney.
I mean, Mooney had what, almost 1,100 yards last season as a breakout? I mean, touchdown wise, maybe.
I think Mooney is going to have a breakout season simply because like you say, 1,100 yards. For him to get 1,100 yards, and we are not known for, like, I'm almost wondering where these yards came from. Because Justin, how many yards Justin threw?
Yeah, it's with three quarterbacks at that, right? I think Mooney got like 1,068 or something like that.
I hope Justin break out.
For him to crack 1,000 yards under that type of situation, I mean, that kind of gives credit to what Allen Robinson has been able to do. But I think Mooney can get more separation than Allen Robinson. Just at this point in his career, he is a younger receiver, but not terribly so. So I don't know. Allen Robinson just doesn't get the same separation.
Nah, Allen Robinson.
I think
Robinson is what, 29?
Yeah, I think Allen Robinson will have a breakout season with the Rams though.
No,
he's with the
Allen
Rams.
Robinson is with the Rams. Yeah, I think Allen Robinson's gonna have a great season with the Rams because nobody's watching him.
Oh, Allen Robinson is going to be a stud. He's on
That's
he's on a better team with a better QB with a better system. He's going to be a stud. And that's not even hating on what we have. It's just they're the champs.
Yeah, Central is.
Yeah, and it's less people you got to watch. Like honestly, like it's, hey, when we go through the list of names that I'm worried about, Allen Robinson is 3.
He's 4.
Might be 5. Honestly, right? Like Allen Robinson is your number. What is he? Is he gonna play the slot?
Like really, he's really gonna be the number 4 for real.
Is he your third down receiver?
No, it's Cooper Kupp.
Well, there he goes there.
It's Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson.
Allen Robinson might be an end zone target in the.
It's fun. It's strange to sit here and say this, but Allen Robinson could very much, coast and be one of those guys who get a ring up a lot of touchdowns. Because you said, I think he's going to be, we need to make a play, and they're doubling Cooper Kupp, which I think is going to happen a lot. I think they going to definitely double him.
Oh yeah,
Big Guns was the best receiver in the league.
Him triple him and it don't work. But I mean, I think with even more options now, right? Like it just makes. I think Allen Robinson will end up being their end zone target, like more of a tight end option for them.
Mm-hmm.
Does he fit that same position wasn't that like what they did with OBJ?
Nah, OBJ was.
OBJ is still one of the fastest people in the NFL. Now he might not be no more after an ACL tear.
I gotta see it to believe it. I can't.
I gotta see how he comes back. He looked like he put in good work.
Where's he end up at?
Damn, like
in Baltimore.
OBJ?
Baltimore, they need it. They need it.
In LA, right?
No, LA was just end of season. You did. He got a ring and got out.
So he's a free agent right now?
Yep.
Oh wow. Yeah, he gonna go.
Bears should take a look, man. But y'all,
I'm not. Here's the thing, right? Like, if you're throwing money at OBJ, what kind of money is he looking for? What kind of money does he need, especially off an ACL tear, right? Like, there's a lot of questions that go into.
I don't think he's looking for crazy bread.
OBJ, does he even want to be here? Yeah, I mean, like that's the other thing too, right? Like this is the thing about this season. This season, I keep telling us this, right? And it's the best way to do it, and the Bears have the best schedule to do it. This season is about making yourself look attractive to other free agents in the NFL. Making yourself, because you're gonna have stupid money to spend this year. So make yourself look as attractive as possible. And I'm gonna tell you what, right now, the Bears have the best opportunity to do it. Most of the teams that we play on the schedule suck. Most of the teams we play are not going to be good football teams by the end of the season.
So if I could just piggyback and ask you a question, are you saying that the team, like we as an organization, being the Bears, need to make ourselves more attractive for those people to come? Is that what you're saying? And then if that's the case, how do you do that? How do you make yourself more attractive with a squad full of unproven talent?
Win. And because the teams, that's kind of what we were talking about, right? Like the teams that we're playing, like everybody ranks the Bears as this awful team, this terrible team. They're going to be the worst in the NFL, blah, blah, blah. This is how all the pundits are doing it. How Ryan Clark came out and he came and said that basically that, what was his,
There's some truth to what he said.
What was his statement? That Justin Fields, that the Bears did nothing to help, that the Bears did nothing to help Justin Fields.
There's some truth to his statement.
No, he didn't lie. He didn't lie.
He didn't sit there and, like, the way as hard as he went. I wouldn't agree as hard as he went. I think that's a little egregious to say they did nothing. But compared to what we hoped they would have done for him, it wasn't what I expected.
This is the thing. What's the most?
No, it wasn't what anyone expected.
What's the most important combination in football?
Offensive line and quarterback.
Specifically on the offensive line.
You needed to keep. I will say this: he got one part right, which was they needed.
That's your most important piece to get the ball to your quarterback. He has to be the smart one. From everything that we hear about Lucas Patrick, and not just from the Bears, from what we heard about people that wanted Lucas Patrick, from what we heard from the Packers, who are an organization that has not been run like the Bears, right? That he's not only a really good center, can stand in there and give you really good production, but that he's a intelligent player and a great leader.
There we go.
No, I give you that.
That is the first, like, that's the biggest move to me that you got to make. Unfortunately, right, what people don't take into account when you're talking about Ryan Poles is that he's coming off of a draft where Ryan Pace made very high picks on your offensive line. You can't just say, yeah, you suck, I'm not using you. You got to at least see if this dude can play.
Yeah. and this is the thing, I'll take it a step further, right? Like, even if you look at the other teams, because we was talking last season. Carson Wentz, you got Ryan Kelly and you got Quinn. You got Quinn Nelson.
Yeah.
Turn around, you got and Washington. We really don't believe in Carson Wentz, but I believe in Brent. Like they have a really solid offensive line. I believe in Brandon Sherrill.
Right.
We don't believe
the same thing. Like they certain teams have those guys in place where it's like, all right, I need to be the smartest dude on the field and try to keep this dude off his back. And I think Poles is basically try to piggyback off of what Ryan Pace did, because if Tevin Jenkins works out and Lucas Patrick is who the Bears say he is, Ryan Poles is the best GM in the league.
Yeah, because
let me ask you this.
Here's
where the question comes in, right? Who was our first two picks?
The first two picks was defense.
That's where Ryan Clark is coming from. And as a former player, and a lot of doing the research, several former players have said this. Like, he could have made more of an impact using those picks to retool that offense and not necessarily making some of the moves on defense. And they would have been just as impactful. And it would have been more of, I'm getting my young QB help with highly touted talent at those positions that we really need. And that I agree with.
I don't disagree. I'm a Jaquan Brisker, not to say that he was a reach, but I think that you could have got good off. I wouldn't have gone defense twice.
I wouldn't have gone defense twice.
We all have said that. Like Kyler Gordon, okay.
You go DB, right?
We got Kyler Gordon and we got Jaquan Brisker. Kyler Gordon, you made that pick. Fine. You want to
that's a great pick.
That makes sense because, my God, nobody could play football next to Jalen Johnson. No one was talented next to Jalen Johnson until the end of the season where Thomas Graham Jr. got out there. And it was like, hey, you look like you played this sport before.
And that's the part where I disagree with Ryan Clark, because he went so hard about saying that Ryan Poles did nothing when realistically, I mean, we take it back to, Mitch days. How many times did we see Mitch finally string together some good plays and we can't stop anybody? Like we can't stop anybody. So I mean, like, it was one of those things where it was a catch-22, but our offense was so horrendous last year. Our offense was so, like, listen, Mitch looked better than Trubisky. I mean, Mitch looked better than Foles. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. I could say all of that.
I got you.
The fact that you had to go through so many quarterbacks and they all played for us the last 2 years.
Right.
Mitch looked better than Fields.
But you know
we
what,
all
though?
think that he's not. But it's like, hey, you got to give him some you got rid of Allen Robinson. You got to give him some other targets. He picked some people who may do well, but we don't know who Velus Jones was. He wasn't on any of our scouting lists. No. He wasn't on anybody's list. And it's like, yo, I get it. I get that you're known for doing certain things, but if you had the opportunity to get some talent that no one would have batted an eye at, if it didn't work out, we can definitively say, okay, that kid didn't work out. Now you're taking a risk to the point where it's like, if that kid don't work out, we're like, hey, you tried to be a guru and you're not. And so it's like a risk that I wouldn't have taken in his position my first time around.
The only debate,
second year I would have.
The only
second year I can get that, but first year around I can't say I.
I'm gonna say this though, right? The only reason why I said that he made the right pick is because me being a Giants fan, because I think we touched on this in
Did you
Closet.
just say you're a Giants fan on a Bears podcast?
yeah, I did. No, I'm standing on that. Me
I'll
being a
say
Giants
this,
fan.
You root for your Giants a lot harder than you root for the Miami Heat.
What? No, that's kind.
You root for the
Bulls
team
fan
that
out
sucks
here.
more than the team that actually wins.
Hey, you're a closet Bulls fan out here.
I'm not.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a
I'm
minute.
not.
Wait a minute.
I'm
Wait.
not.
When did we get back in on the Giants, though? Weren't you done with them?
Hey.
That's a good question. When did you get back in on the game?
Hey, listen.
What are you talking about back in?
He told me the other day. Remember, the Giants are too racist for you to root for, and they've always.
Hey, technically.
No, that's a good question. Like, when did that change?
Hey, stop! I forget my point.
Okay, I give you that.
Hey, nah, but for real though, the only reason why I said he made the right picks is because back when we was getting ready to pay Odell, and the move was, we gonna pair Odell with Saquon, but we didn't have a line. The whole thing that I was saying, what that Pat was saying, which I had to come around to, you need an O-line to at least keep Eli off his butt. And we didn't do that. Even though we would have had the weapons, we wouldn't have had a line to keep Eli off his butt. The reason why I said that, I went back and looked, and Post did the right thing. If the line keeps Justin off his butt, and the Bears get at least 6 or 7 wins, like Pat is talking about, they're going to have AMs to spend next season. I don't care about the receivers, because somebody later on is gonna say, hey, Justin had a decent year. They're building something over there. That they have the line to be upright, so he's gonna have time to get me the ball. So now if I'm a prime time receiver, like, okay, say Debo does play the year with the 49ers, then they get him out of there next year.
Yeah, but I'll be it next year.
I got 144 M's.
Literally have.
I got 140 M's.
156, ain't it?
Well, yeah, almost.
Money out of anybody.
I can sign 3 wide receivers next season.
I'm gonna be pissed if we spend 156 million.
No, I mean, listen, I hear you.
No, so essentially, he's doing the right thing. This is legitimately all about improvement, because they can find another Jameson Williams and the rest of these guys in the draft later on. I'm cool with them.
The moves that they made on with our defense, though, even now with some of our highly touted guys wanting out, it gives you pause, because it's like, hey, what are we known for? We're known for spending that money on defense. And so now that's what the situation kind of shapes up to be. I know we went defense in the draft early and stuff like that, but if I just have a feeling, if we're just marginally good on offense, they're going to go defense with a lot of that money next year. And that's going to be the same old.
I think the difference is
we're so young across the board at this point, but we have no idea what's
because think about it like
this is the difference here, though. Like, right, say they do go defense with that money. You go out, you get you a premier defense. Deron Payne doesn't want to come back. You go get Deron Payne. You got your guy that's able to come up the middle and kill people. Which is legitimately what he does. It's
legit.
Oh, it's disrespectful at points. You have to also think that you have a full slate of picks. And we're getting to a point now in the NFL where the NFL is becoming very much like how the NBA is, where like there was a time in the NBA where second round picks did not matter.
Skip them picks.
And just what? Honestly, right? Skip them picks.
No, that's what
the Rams told you. F them picks.
No. Hey, but listen, the Rams are already in a position to win a Super Bowl, and they built their team with them picks.
I got 140.
They said F them picks to go get Matthew Stafford, right? Like, so it's a different situation when you're already winning. You can say that because you got that team already. The thing that I'll say now is that Jamar Chase was legitimately one of the best wide receivers in the NFL last year.
And he was also one of the best receivers in the draft.
That was his first season. Though.
No, he was the best receiver in the draft.
Agreed, right?
The best.
No, agreed.
Listen,
but
that goes to show you that if you go for that prime talent early, you could have some good payoffs.
No, agreed, right?
No
but here's the thing: the Bears were in a draft this year where they didn't have a pick till the second round.
But that's about what the statement that
Next
Kia made.
season, you not only have all your money, you have every pick in the draft.
And this is the thing.
So you can either move that mug and be like, send me the dude I already know can play.
Right.
Or you can be like, I'm gonna spend this money on this premier guy on either side.
Absolutely.
And then I'm gonna address the other side of the
absolutely.
picks.
And this is the thing too that I'm gonna say. And it's like we said, the Bears are mad young on defense, and what do I say?
Mad young on both sides.
On both sides of the ball. But what have I continuously said about defense? You get a 3 to 4 year window for that defense to be like. If the only thing I gotta do is pay Roquan and Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon,
You gotta pay them yet.
are
They on their rookie deal.
legitimately, and I can franchise tag the mess out of them. So that's at least gonna give me 6 years of a primetime defense. You talking about receivers? I can go out and I can get me a Deebo Samuel or a DK Metcalf, and then in your case, for the sake of this conversation, let's say Cole Kmet does pan out, and look, but this is the thing, they don't. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of ifs,
But it's also
but they don't need 10 wins, is what I'm saying. Just give me 6. Just give me 6 and the offense looks good enough. Just give me 6 and Justin looks good enough to the point I know year 3 he taking that leap. Because at the end of the day, free agents are looking at, well, one, the Bears got the AMs, and if the offensive line holds up, I got the opportunity to do something special when I'm out in Chicago with Justin, who's still essentially going to be on his rookie deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad. I think the thing with the Bears is gonna be right. You got to find a way to just you have to find a way to compete in every game this year. At least most of the games, right? Because you're better than most of these teams.
Right.
A lot of these teams are coming into the same scenario. You were in a third place schedule where these teams are in the same scenario as you, except their quarterback, at least just talent on paper, isn't as talented as yours. Zach Wilson, Tua,
faith in Zach Wilson than I do Tua.
What's my boy that's in Marcus Mariota? Like, those are the quarterbacks you're playing. Jared Goff. Those are the quarterbacks you're going up against, right? Like, you should be able to find a way to get enough wins to look enticing to a franchise. And clearly, right, like the thing is, like, clearly you just have to have the most money, and yeah, you may have to overpay a little bit, but you don't have to be the best looking spot in the world. The Dolphins had how many wins last year? They got a new left tackle and a new wide receiver.
8. They had 8.
8.
And the Bengals,
they got a brand new left tackle and a brand new wide receiver because they could pay for them and because they could trade for them. When you have picks, when you have the players in place, and you have money, you can do quite a bit. And that's what I think you should expect from the Bears going into next offseason. For me, this whole season, and I will say this, right, to Kid's point about Ryan Clark and how he's kind of right. The thing that Ryan Clark probably isn't taking into account, just because he's not covering the Bears one-on-one, is that the Bears aren't planning to throw the ball up 40 times a game.
Right.
The Bears are planning to be on being a run and gun team. So they're building their team based on having to run the ball.
Nah, that's a fact.
I'm not a run and gun, a ground and pound team, I should say. They're building their team based on having to run the ball. And so there's a difference in, we didn't get this guy help, then we're building our team for the scheme that we're planning on running. You go out and you get a fullback instead of going out and getting a wide receiver because you're planning on running the ball heavily.
Right.
And you go out and you get linemen that are going to be better in the run option than in the pass option, and run pro than pass pro. Because you feel like you're gonna need to open up a lot of holes for these running backs to get through. Like that's you draft. Did we draft the running back later? Did we sign a running back? Like we drafted one, didn't we?
You signed one late.
No, I think we drafted.
And this is the thing that
we drafted a running back at the end of the draft, right? Like just in case.
I mean, you drafted a running back where Pat would actually draft.
You absolutely right. You know why? Just in case David Montgomery goes down. Because we got to the point last year, right? And it didn't matter because Matt Nagy wasn't running the football enough. But you want to work to your team strengths and your scheme strengths. The reason that Tom Brady was so successful in New England is not because he always had the best wide receivers. It's because the team was built to the scheme that he was running. And he could run it well with the people that run. We saw dudes come in that literally were terrible in other places.
Julian actually had a nice interview that kind of talked about it. The first 3 years of Tom Brady's career, he wasn't the Tom Brady that we all know and remember. It was a very developmental situation for him. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of credit to what you're saying.
No, yeah, and it's not to say that Ryan Clark's wrong about it, but I think that there's a lot. They ask these national dudes broad questions on an entire team season before the season starts, and they've had a chance to look at any game on these mugs, and they're not sitting there watching Bears tape for the first for the show to break down on that. So I'm not surprised that Ryan Clark is looking at it at a surface level and saying that the Chicago Bears did nothing to help Justin Fields. If you look at it that way, they did do nothing to help Justin Fields. They went and got a wide receiver, in the 4th round, 5th round, right? Yep. Bayless Jones, our 5th round pick. But you also are looking at this team as a run team, not a pass team. And so I've got one wide out already. I need another speedster. I need some guys that can take the top off so that when I'm running RPO, I'm able to put that mug up deep. And I'm able to hit guys over the top.
This looks like a very like when I look at this offense is pretty much gonna be basically like we're gonna run it. Like if you ask us to run it all 3 downs and we need to run it all 3 downs, we're gonna run it all 3 downs because guess what? Our running game is better than yours, and that's pretty much gonna open up the play action.
I don't know if it's all 3 downs.
I don't know if it's better.
If you need to, it will be.
You got 2 running.
If you need to, it will be.
This is. I want us to understand. This is how dumb Matt Nagy is. We've got the only running back in all of the NFL last season on our team that rushed for over 100 yards on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not David Montgomery. And Matt Nagy looked at that and said,
we're not doing that no more. we're not doing that.
You know what I'm saying? I swear to y'all, like, must think I'm tweaking. You get 2 wins just by firing. They might as well make us 2-0 to start the season. You get 2 wins just by firing. I'm not saying they're going to win the first 2 games, but credit us 2 games at some point because I know for a fact Matt Nagy would have lost.
Both Lions games.
Well, no, he actually was pretty dominant against the Lions. Matt Nagy's record again. If we could play the Lions all 16 games, Matt Nagy and Mitch Trubisky are going to the Hall of Fame.
We can't even say that no more because the Lions got dramatically better.
We'll see.
I gotta see it.
Look, Detroit is on the come up. We gotta give credit where credit is due, man. Detroit Lions, Detroit Pistons, they're all really, really good right now.
So now,
at least on paper.
I would bet that the Pistons are successful for 10 years before the Lions work out.
Wow.
I would bet you Cade is going to the Hall of Fame before I would bet you that the Lions are going to have a 10-win season.
Cade and Jaden Ivey are the best backcourt duo.
I'll give you 2 years. My bet is 2 years. 2 years, the Lions are going to be a playoff team.
They going to find a quarterback?
I think golf turns the corner.
Hey, bro, the only thing you need to know about that Jared Goff situation is what Dig, man, what's
hey, bro, what did we say?
What's that coach?
Old knee biter.
No, not the Lions. LA.
Yeah, Sean McVay said the difference between Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford was I needed I needed a leader. I didn't need a student.
Yeah, but that's not a difference.
He's still the student.
That's not Dave. That is true.
Hey, listen,
He's
Jared
the-
Goff.
He's been in a lot of games for him to be the student. I will say that.
Like he's never gonna turn that.
I mean, I can't say never, but
no. Listen, I wouldn't say never.
he's been in. How long has he been in the NFL? 6 years.
Bro, you know how many high profile
6 years.
games this dude has played?
Hold on, wait. No, time out. He's been in the league 5-6 years, and out of the 6 years he's been in the league, he's thrown for more yards than any of our QBs 4 of those years.
Yeah, but that don't mean nothing. We had QBs that are terrible.
Yeah, and when you got
And we had a coach that was overcommittal to one side. Like, the great thing about Sean McVay is Sean McVay knows. Like, I've seen Sean McVay in a game be like, "Yep, we're not throwing this one.
This man-
hand it off 76 times, and let's see how this works."
this man ran Todd Gurley into the ground.
Hey, ran time.
I understand.
Legit.
Hey, listen.
Oh wow.
I'll say this.
No, like it's legit. He got hurt versus the Bears.
Hey, listen. This is the thing. Kid hitched his wagon to the weirdest.
Bro,
players.
I can't hear you.
You said that, and it took me a minute.
Kid hitched.
I can't hear you.
It took me a minute, but this dude,
I said you hit your wagon to the weirdest players, bro.
No. I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not sitting there saying that Jared Goff is going to be his world breaker. But what I am saying is there are certain things there that you really can work with. Like, realistically, he's giving you way more than I will ever give Daniel Jones. And
I agree.
Ringo hitched his wagon to that thing right there. I don't know why.
Time out, I had to. That was a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Jared Goff compared to Daniel,
listen to me.
compared to Daniel Jones, he's a world breaker compared to Daniel Jones.
I will say this. I think everybody wants Tyrod Taylor starting.
If Tyrod Taylor starts, gift us 3 wins.
Dog, if Tyrod Taylor starts, Jared Goff is still the better quarterback.
What?
Ooh, nah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
bro.
Tyrod over Jared Goff.
No.
See, this is my thing. I would absolutely take Tyrod over Jared Goff. Tyrod was cooking and then he punctured a lung.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this.
The medical staff
punctured his lung, I should say.
the doctor.
Get paid, young man. Get paid.
Here's
By the way, Tyrod Taylor's been in the league twice as long as Jared Goff, and they never had a season as Jared Goff. Never.
He's only had one season where they gave him the team, and it wasn't even
He's
that
had
good of a
3
team.
seasons where he had the team.
Hey, it was him
He's
and
had
LaShawn
3 seasons
McCoy.
where he had the team,
He
did not do well.
He's had 3 seasons. What
He's had
team
3
did he
seasons
have?
in Buffalo where he was starting. That I do remember.
Yeah, but he made the playoffs with that team.
Hey, listen, very well constructed team, but I say this: it wasn't because of Tyrod
No,
Taylor.
it wasn't. That was the problem. It wasn't well constructed till the one
I'ma
year where he
tell you
made the
this.
playoffs.
Jared Goff is a better QB than Tyrod Taylor. Now that I'm willing to bet on. I don't care what you say. I'm not here to say that Jared Goff is better than what's Stafford. No, I'm definitely not going to say that. I'm not going to say he's an elite quarterback, but I'm going to say this: he's a pretty good quarterback.
I'll say this: his 3 years in Buffalo, 20-6, 17-6, 14-4, and that team was pretty terrible most of those years.
All right, I tell you what.
I would take Tyrod
Man,
over.
I'm taking Tyrod.
Yeah, Jared Goff was on a Super Bowl caliber team.
3,200 yards, 19-8.
Hey, Jared Goff was on a Super Bowl caliber team.
The offense was like you had Robert Woods, Todd Gurley.
Hey,
before you blow a gasket, 3,200 yards, 19-8 is Detroit.
I'm not blowing a gasket.
That's Detroit. Those are Detroit numbers.
Oh yeah, but see, this is the thing. Those are Detroit numbers. But I watched him in Detroit.
Listen.
I watched him go. Said, "Hi." Where you looking?
I watched him get killed in Detroit, but guess what? Getting killed, looking discombobulated, he still put up better numbers than Tyrod Taylor.
What was your question?
Never did.
No, is Jared Goff the new Mark Sanchez?
Bro, yes, bro, yes.
No, Mark Sanchez was never
'Cause he
that
get
good.
not wait, time out.
Mark
Time out.
Sanchez
Because Mark Sanchez gave you
Never
2
was
years.
really a good quarterback,
Mike-
but he was in the perfect system that got him deep, and everybody else around him was so great
He didn't need to do
that
nothing.
he was the biggest liability.
He didn't do nothing.
was never
'Cause
good.
Mike Sanchez gave you what? Two
Sanchez
two
was
AFC championship games, and that man beat Brady twice in the regular season. That mugs really thought they had it.
Mark Sanchez had one good season.
Mark,
Everything else was almost a 1-to-1 conversion on INTs to TDs.
But Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl.
hey, listen, Mark Sanchez was absolutely.
Hey man,
Horrible.
Hey, no, I ain't saying he was good, but he
Mark
was the.
Sanchez has 2 years where his completion rate is over 60%. Everything else is worse than
but he- hey,
Mike Vick.
You also got to think too. This is at a time when some of them quarterbacks are just throwing that money. hey, in 09, you still had Brett Favre just like let's see what's down there.
Let's not sit here and cap and make it seem as if Mark Sanchez did not have the right team around him.
I'm not saying
because
that.
that's like saying Nick Foles is a world breaker. Nick
No,
Foles,
I'm not saying that Mark Sanchez is a. I don't know.
that's mad disrespectful.
Hey, I'm being disrespectful. Here's the thing that I'll say about it. When he's on his own, he don't look good.
Oh, Jared?
Jared Goff don't look good. Neither did Mark Sanchez. When Mark Sanchez didn't have
That's what we said about Foles.
the Revis Island and all them mugs on his team, didn't look good. But when he had everybody around him, he could do enough to keep you in a game, keep you fighting in a game. That's just like Jared Goff. Jared Goff just did enough.
Dog, 4,600 yards is not enough. Just doing enough.
Hey, bro.
He did it multiple times.
Nah,
Hey, bro.
That's not just doing enough, dog.
Hey, bro.
You can't sit there and tell me
I'm
that
telling
someone
you.
who's cracking 4,000 passing yards
we telling you what it
multiple
is.
seasons
Hey,
We
and not
telling you
having
what it
a
is.
1-to-1 ratio
I'll say
on
this.
ITs to TDs is just doing
I say-
enough.
I'll
Now,
say this.
I would say this. He is not a game on the line QB. He's not that by any stretch of the imagination. But if you want to sit there and pick one of the most a competent 1 through 3 quarterback, Jared Goff will be in that list. He's beyond serviceable. He's just not elite. That's what it is. Matt Stafford was an elite quarterback.
He's beyond.
That's how
I agree with.
He's beyond serviceable.
If he was beyond serviceable,
I can't
Detroit
agree.
would have been better last year.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree
Detroit,
with that
honestly,
because
it has so many other things that's bad with it.
Yeah,
But you still can't look at what he did individually.
I am.
You can't sit there and say, "Oh, this is a horrible quarterback."
But I'm
'Cause
also
if that's a horrible quarterback with a 91% QBR, 19-8 on a TD to INT, 3,200 yards, pretty much playing the same way Matthew Stafford did on his back half the time.
But do you know
You
when
can't sit there and say
but
that.
kid,
But see, that's the thing.
91 is mediocre though.
when you say
91 is not mediocre now.
I need you to
Yes, it is.
But wait,
QBs are averaging over 100.
but wait though.
How many QBs average over 100?
Tom Brady had over 100 QBR. Russell Wilson
Yes,
has
come on,
over
come on,
100
it's Tom
QBR. I
just
said
named the
Russell
best
Wilson has
QB
over
to ever
100
touch the ball.
QBR. Aaron Rodgers has over 100 QBR. Matt
of the
Stafford
second
has
most
over
talented
100
QB to ever
How
QBR.
much,
touch a ball.
y'all put that much weight on QBR?
I'm telling you, quarterbacks that got over 100 QBR.
When you say
You just
beyond,
named all these QBs who are legendary. Like
bro,
Aaron Rodgers gonna retire now.
this-
He's
Joe
the most
Burrow
talented
had
QB
over
to ever
100
touch the ball.
QBR.
this is the thing though. I need you to understand when you say beyond serviceable, that's Derek. Would you say that's Derek Carr?
Derek Carr's beyond service.
That's Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is an elite QB.
Gosh, bro. Oh my god.
Wait, what's wrong with that? What he said?
What's wrong with me saying Derek Carr
I
is an
wouldn't
elite
call
QB?
him elite.
He's not elite. He's not elite.
Okay, give me
Would they give him
how
the
he's
keys
not
if he
elite.
wasn't?
He's not elite.
Huh?
Would they give
How is
him
he
the
not elite?
keys?
There's a lot of people that have gotten the keys that aren't elite.
What?
Not at his pedigree.
I'm not saying he's bad. I just think he's above average.
4,800 yards,
hold on.
68% completion rate.
Tell me the difference between
4,800 yards, 68% completion
now
rate.
we giving y'all a master class.
How is that not elite?
bro? When you look
You know what? I can't say that.
4,800 yards,
Hold on. I will say that. This is the thing. You going strictly off the numbers. The numbers definitely don't tell you everything.
No, I'm a Derek Carr fan. I watch Derek Carr.
Here's the thing that I will say.
Yeah, you said
here's the thing that I will say. In Derek Carr's defense, the Raiders literally go, "Hey, you fast? You tall? Yeah. Can you catch? No, don't worry about it. We're gonna draft you anyway.
We're gonna throw it to you anyway."
Hey, it ain't about throwing it to him. It's just the receivers he's gotten haven't actually been Hands McGee out here.
Yeah, outside of
but to that same tip, neither have the receivers that Aaron's gotten outside of Devontae Adams.
Guiding up Devontae Adams for a long time.
Aaron force feeding Devontae. That's why Devontae got 15. Hey, we'll see. I'll say what I'm not. If Derek Carr can show me that with Devontae Adams on the team,
Derek Carr's an elite QB, dog. I'm sorry, I can't let you sit there and shade that man like that. I can't let you do it. I can't let you do it. I can't let you sit there and let you shade Derek Carr,
bro. There's not like we just no, because this is the thing. We just throw elite. Like everybody can't be elite.
No, everyone can't be elite. But Derek Carr's
a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now.
I don't think
top 5 is elite.
This is
top 5 is elite.
Accepted. Time out. This is universally accepted. We are beyond the era where we can sit there and say we have a top 5. We're beyond the era.
That's true.
In the NFL?
Yes.
There can't be a top 5
beyond the era
quarterback
where we have a top 5.
There can't be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
We're beyond. There's too many talented QBs.
How many quarterbacks are better than Aaron Rodgers?
You say, run it down.
How many quarterbacks are better than Aaron Rodgers?
3.
What?
How many quarterbacks are better than Aaron Rodgers?
Russell.
What is your metric for saying better? No. Here's an No. Seriously, real question.
Wait.
What's your metric on being better?
Goalpost.
No, it's not. It's not moving the goalpost.
I want to know what he means.
Because we all yelling. Hold on. How many quarterbacks are better than Aaron Rodgers?
I said 3.
What's your metric for saying better?
Accuracy, touchdown, interception.
Aaron is the most accurate.
2.
With touchdown and interception.
I will say 3.
3.
Y'all putting 3 people above Aaron.
Tom Brady.
I would say Tom
Brady, Russ, Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
Okay.
No, Josh Allen.
I'll put Josh Allen on there as well. If you want to make him top 5, I'm okay.
Okay, that's okay.
I would say Joe Burrow.
This is the thing. But here's the thing. How many quarterbacks are better than Josh Allen?
It's a few.
That's kind of hard.
The 4 that we named, right? Like to say we can't have a top 5 in sports, like there's absolutely a top 5.
Would you sit there and say that Josh Allen is head shoulders better than Derek Carr?
No, my point is you're saying that there can't be a top 5. There will always be 5 quarterbacks that I would rather have in the NFL than anybody else. Just based on how they play.
I say that is because situations matter. And I think the one thing about Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, is their situations have allowed them to be great. And Aaron Rodgers had the best receiver in the game by far. That's why he got the contract he got. Mm-hmm. So now will be a good chance to see what Aaron Rodgers does if he could still do what he did.
But we've seen that.
We've seen it when he didn't. This man had March forget about Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings,
and then Greg Jennings left.
Fresh
off the boat, Randall Cobb. Let's
not forget that we've seen Tom Brady play with the best receiver in the NFL at one point, and he broke all types of records that Aaron Rodgers couldn't.
I mean,
no, I agree with you, but I think
Tom Brady, when he got the best receiver in the league,
was dominant.
He literally almost had a perfect season.
No, almost. How's that going for you? No, here's what I'm.
He did it twice.
He did what twice?
The records that he broke, he almost did it twice with Randy Moss.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about almost having a perfect season.
Like when you sit there and say better, it's almost like how do you measure it? Because if you measure it by, let's say if I give you equal playing field, I give you your best receiver in the league.
But here's the thing, right? Like
Tom Brady did more than Aaron Rodgers.
To say that we can't have a top 5, it's like you're telling me there's 5 quarterbacks that you would take over Tom Brady.
What I'm saying, I'm not saying that we can't. Obviously, you can have whatever metric you want to, but statistically speaking, and what we're seeing on the field, we're in the era of so many talented QBs that you can kind of interchange a lot of these QBs and get and maybe get similar results. You never really know, but like you can't go wrong. Like you can't go wrong right now going with Joe Burrow in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but I feel better. But here's the thing.
You can't go wrong with
same metric.
Jack Prescott on Tampa Bay.
But same metric, right? You can't go wrong with Joe Burrow in Tampa Bay. Why?
Because Tampa Bay got left.
And one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
Oh yeah, you got.
You can absolutely go wrong with Tom Brady in Cincinnati.
So here's what I'm saying.
Well, not now.
What you're giving credit to is situation.
Not now.
The situation for these QBs to have so vastly different situations, but to even be in a conversation, you can make the argument they're either on par or better.
Yeah,
if I got to work for my life and I'm still giving you the same type of production, how do you say that you're better than me?
Because if I put Tom Brady in Cincinnati, he dies.
You know what? You know what kind of solves this? Why do we call Deshaun Watson the best? Why do we call Deshaun Watson the best QB between?
Because he can do it with AD blocking for him.
Yeah.
So guess what? His situation showed that he was more talented, but the numbers don't necessarily. Well, the numbers.
No, they do.
The numbers
they do. He had one of the worst teams in football and led the NFL in yards.
The numbers back that up. And that's the thing too, though. I don't understand what's with him on this Derek Carr thing, because Derek Carr will have the greatest 4 weeks, and Muggs will be like, he's in the MVP conversation. You know what happens after that?
He falls out of the MVP conversation.
Nothing. That was 1 year he kept it up for like 10 weeks, and then the rest of the 6 weeks he absolutely choked it.
I don't know if I say choked it. Like
the problem is Derek Carr puts up Hall of Fame numbers, and no one wants to give him credit.
You're going by the numbers. The rest of that stuff got to tell me about eye test.
Yeah, but the thing is as well,
the
right?
Eye test doesn't show. Guess what? If we want to go by the eye test, Jimmy Garoppolo outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, no, he did.
Well, let's not say that.
No,
Jimmy Garoppolo outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
No. Let's not say that.
If we want to go by the eye test, Aaron Rodgers choked a lot in big moments.
They were even. They were even.
Hold on. If we're going to go by the eye test,
awful.
Aaron Rodgers is the greatest regular season quarterback you've ever seen. He chokes in playoffs.
No, that's Peyton.
I was going to say we put him over Peyton Manning.
That's Peyton Manning. Come on, stop that.
No.
Guess what? He got more than Peyton Manning got 2.
Aaron is given. He's had the advantage going into the playoff game, and he choke at everything.
Listen. Peyton didn't.
Hey, no, hold on. Did not Aaron Rodgers have one of the best O-lines, best defense, and a top-rated offense?
No, they're the same. They're literally the same. Peyton
Manning got 2.
Aaron's been to how many Super Bowls?
Yeah, 1.
He's been to 1. Peyton's went to 3. They dragged him to one of them.
Legit.
Time out. His first year in Denver, though.
Hey, kid, the team was like, here we go. God dang it. Aaron, get you. Come on, Peyton.
Hey, dog, listen, I don't care what you say. His first year in Denver, elite.
Hey, no, facts.
Elite.
Hey, facts. 56?
Who wins
50
who wins the Peyton Denver team or the Peyton Indianapolis team?
Indianapolis
team. That's before the neck injury.
Oh, nah, you know what though? Nope, I'm wrong.
The defense on Denver was good.
Von Miller's killing. Von Miller's causing a neck injury.
Well, not Edgerrin James.
This the thing, though.
Edgerrin James, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison.
Are we going strictly off QB ability?
I'm gonna say this. It's definitely the Denver Peyton team, the second one, because the Bears should have won the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's a fact.
And it's just poor coaching and deciding like we're just gonna try and sit on this that lost it for us. But they absolutely should have won the Super Bowl.
But to get back to the initial argument, though, right? It's all about situation, which is why I say you can't really have a top 5 because I just named you. I can name you 4 guys who threw you 4,800 yards, all with different situations. But if you put them on Tampa Bay, good O-line, massive talent around them, you mean to tell me Derek Carr couldn't put up Tom Brady numbers? I'm pretty sure he could.
No, absolutely. But I'm
pretty sure anybody in Tom's situation could. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in Aaron's situation could.
But this is the thing for me, kid, right? Like Tom did it not in that situation. Tom also was able to do it in situations where Tom
has more seasons where he's dominated with protection than not. Now, mind you, he did LeBron James a couple of playoffs. I'm not gonna sit there and cap and say he did.
No, the last two. He hasn't LeBron James nothing because Bill wouldn't let him. That's why he got out of there.
Nah, the last two.
I'm not gonna give you any weapons.
The last two seasons where when he was in Tampa is the first time he was able to be like, give me this, give me this. The Bill wanted Randy Moss.
That's because they had the money.
Tom Brady, LeBron James is like the roster was subpar. Late 2000s, that roster was subpar.
Oh, he had to carry him.
Oh, you saying where Tom had to just carry it?
Tom doesn't have many seasons where he carried a team.
Normally, when you say LeBron James, that it means that he built his own team.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers has more seasons where he carried a team than Tom. But then it's like, all right, we remember those moments. But I can legitimately tell you that, hey, Deshaun Watson looked better in a very similar situation.
I think the Aaron Rodgers, the difference with Aaron Rodgers, right, is Aaron got knocked out of going to one Super Bowl by Brandon Bostic.
Yeah,
Don't that sound right? The dude that they were supposed they were literally they literally were going to the Super Bowl. And he muffed the dig. That's the Seahawks getting there, right?
Bro, fired him the day after.
Hey, he was
with
fired
the
so
quickness.
quick. I think Aaron personally fired him. Aaron could have been at that one.
Yep.
And outside of that, Aaron has choked. That's why I said, like, Aaron and Peyton are very, very similar to me.
I actually compare Aaron to Drew Brees more than Peyton, though. Because Drew Brees is statistically the most accurate.
That's not wrong either.
And how many times did we sit there and say the Saints got robbed?
Yeah,
whether it be a bad call, something like that. Very rarely do we sit there and say Drew Brees didn't get it done.
No, most times when it was Drew Brees, it was very much like Aaron Rodgers was like, wow, y'all just said F a defense.
It used to be crazy.
That year when they just
putting up like 32 a game, this man will be having like, another 300 yards for Drew Brees. Yeah, and the game just 38, 31.
That year where Rob Ryan was randomly there. That year where Rob Ryan was just randomly there, bro. It's just like, why is Rob Ryan here?
We never knew it.
Drew Brees' problem was sometimes he would score too quick because he would give the defense too much time to mess up.
Yeah, he did that. He did that against the Packers, I think,
a few times.
Hey man, listen, 30 seconds. He scores 30 seconds left. Or gets you in field goal position. 30 seconds left. You're up 2. You're supposed to be able to walk off that field and say, "Hey, listen, we got this dub. Good one, guys." He's going over there sweating like, I should have held it. Like, I should have held this thing at least a good 10 seconds. Good Lord. Like, I don't know what just happened.
It's such a tough situation, right? But it's so weird, right? Like I look at quarterbacks in the league now, and even kind of with Justin Fields, right? It's like it's set up for you to be good. It's set up for you to have success. You got to understand.
Absolutely.
We're the only team in the NFL
that doesn't have a quarterback.
No, that doesn't have somebody that threw a football over 4,000 yards.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe we're the only team in the NFL.
Last one was Jay.
Hey, Steph, guess what?
Jay never threw over 4,000 yards. Jay threw 3,800 yards.
What'd you say, kid?
Jared Goff threw for more than 4,000 yards multiple times.
I mean, that's cool.
Guess what? Jared Goff is gonna throw for 4,000 yards this season. You think Fields gonna get there?
I guarantee.
Even at Arizona,
I guarantee he won't do that.
That one.
You guarantee he's not gonna get 4,000 yards.
I don't see him doing that.
3,300 yards on his back and injured.
And at St. Louis.
I don't. I mean, do it equate to wins though.
So I'm trying to see.
They winning the games.
Dog, we talking about yards. Now you're moving the goalposts.
Hey.
We're saying yards. If we had you realize Pat didn't say 4,000 yards in a win. He said 4,000 yards.
No, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, right? Like you have to understand how bad. like our mindset on quarterback play is, right? Like 4,000 yards is impressive for us.
Yeah.
That's
To the
average.
rest, no, that's the thing. To the rest of the NFL, 4,000 yards ain't impressive. That's just to us in Chicago.
Yeah.
To the rest of the NFL, 4,000 yards, you went 3-12.
Hey, the crazy part.
How many wins did Atlanta get last year?
What, 3?
Did they get what they get 3 or 4?
3, 4,
7.
They got 7 wins.
Oh wow.
How many yards did Matty Ice throw?
39-60.
Really? He was under.
He was right. He was slightly under.
That's crazy.
Hey, and
I would have bet that he broke.
Yo, and this is the thing, right? I remember when the Bears like the Bears had just got Mitch. It was like year 2. It was like the Bears would have a game, and then at halftime, like the Chiefs would be blowing somebody out.
Yeah.
And Muggs would be saying like, "Oh man," because I remember it was one game I was here at your crib because like we had watched all the games, dog. And it was one game I think like Pat Mahomes was playing the Raiders, and like what the yards that Mitch had for the game, Pat had at halftime.
Oh yeah, that's normal at this point.
It was just so like.
But it's also right. Like that's 2 kids' point, right? There's a lot of things that go into the system. There's a lot of things that go into what you're running. There's a lot of things that go into what you're doing. But my thing is right. Like we look at like last year, Jared Goff having a 4,000 plus yard season as this is great. When I watched Deshaun Watson have a 4,000 plus yard season with one of the worst football teams in the NFL and win 2 games. You know what I'm saying? Like 4,000 yards at this point is like 4,000 should be the marker.
Like, I would say 3,500.
I mean, listen, at this point, right?
For Justin, yeah.
For Justin, for Justin, for 3,500 is great. You said what?
For any good QB, 3,500 should be the benchmark.
Oh, man.
Huh?
You gotta divide.
You got a lot of dudes that throw over 4,000 yards now to say that though. Like even on bad teams, there's a lot. How many? Tua probably almost had 4,000 yards last season.
No way, nowhere near.
Well, he did. He missed time too. How many weeks he missed? He missed like 5 weeks, didn't he?
Tua ain't even cracked 2,700 yards.
Yeah, he missed like 5 weeks.
Out of all, listen, it's only how many teams is it in the NFL? Just to make sure.
30.
How many of those teams have QBs that crack 4,000 yards? I'm willing to say only 14. That's how many good QBs you have in the league. 14.
We probably can see. Let's see.
And by the way, this argument kind of lends itself to like you got to think about it. Matty Ice should be a Hall of Fame QB. It's like it's on the fence for people say it because he's only been in the Pro Bowl 3 times.
Nah, he'll probably get one.
Trevor Lawrence had
he threw 4,000 yards last year. I was about to say
3,641.
That's really impressive, actually.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's really impressive.
And they just got that man weapons.
What did Justin have last year then?
It was not. It wasn't that.
Like 22.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't nowhere close to that.
That's wild. That is very wild.
It wasn't nowhere.
He had
close to
3,300
that.
yards.
Justin Fields threw for 1,800 yards.
Yeah,
bro.
Justin didn't
So
play most of the
threw
games.
for double, but he also had more opportunities.
Justin played 12 games. Trevor played all of them.
Oh yeah.
I'll say this: I'm definitely wrong. I thought it would have been more people to have 4,000 yards. It's only 12. That's a lot of people with 4,000 yards. Though.
Yeah, that's why he said it's only 12 good ones.
But I will say this. The caveat
I
to it.
included Matty Ice in that though.
No, the caveat to it is Matty Ice just missed it. Garoppolo played 15 games. Murray played 14 games. Roethlisberger had a lame duck arm and got 3,700. Goff played 14 games, but I don't know if he gets it. Hurts played 15 games. He definitely don't get it. So yeah, you probably about right. Probably about 14 guys. Well, no,
Look at
probably
how many
more.
people
15.
who do have 4,000
15 because Russell played hurt. Because Baker probably not getting 4,000 yards.
But no, here's the
Nah,
caveat though, because I don't want to sit
hurt
there and
first
just
game of the
say,
year.
oh, this person had this person had that. Look how many people cracked 4,000. Did they play every game? I'm pretty sure there's some people who cracked 4,000 that didn't play every game.
No, the people that cracked 4,000 played every game. Tom Brady played 17. Herbert played 17. Stafford played 17. Mahomes played 17. Carr played 17. Burrow played 16. Prescott played 16. Allen played 17. Kirk played 16. Aaron played 16 because he was
So
suspended.
that one game is like 300 to 400 yards.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. They not close. It's not like they had like 4,100 yards. They had like 4,900 yards, 4,800 yards, 4,600 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like that one game is like you would have had in that one game. And this is what I mean by it, right? Like it's more of a passing league now. But in that one game, Joe Burrow would have probably had 4,900. Derek Carr would have broke 5,000. Dak Prescott probably would have had 4,700. Jared Allen Jared Allen played all 17. Kirk Cousins would have had about 4,500. Aaron Rodgers probably would have had about 4,500. Like, it's not like, oh, we're just breaking 4,000 yards. Like, we got quarterbacks like destroying 4,000 yard seasons.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is a passing league. And I think to kind of tie this all up in a bow, because I know we get on these tangents, the whole reason we got on this is like we really initially started with, did the Bears get enough help for Justin Fields? And the type of league that we're in right now kind of gives the lens to that. Mac Jones is a good example for me.
Also threw over 4,000 yards.
If what we're doing for
like
Justin Fields is putting a system around him similar to what they're
No, he
doing for
did
Mac
38.
Jones. Mac Jones threw for 3,800 yards.
3,800, yeah, not 4,000, 3,800.
So
Yeah, I was
for
gonna say
3,800 yards, I mean, let's be real. That's 2,000 more yards than Justin threw for. Even with games not played, that's a lot of yards.
And to be honest with you, he probably cracks 4,000, but they played in that weird snow game where Bill was like, don't throw.
2 passes.
Don't throw.
Ringo playbook.
Hey,
It's alive.
ran that Ringo playbook to death on that, John. No,
He had 3 passes that game.
Legit.
I love it.
They told him don't throw.
We running the ball 30 times. We running the ball 30. I dare you.
Hey.
I dare you to stop. I dare you to stop.
Ringo is doing the Remember the Titans, but backwards. He's saying Ringo's hitting you with, I don't want you to throw for another yard.
What's weird to me is the hate that Mac Jones get, because everyone was like, yeah, they're pacifying him, this, that, and the other. If 3,800 yards is pacifying your QB, good Lord.
But no,
What happens when
I
they
think
take the chain off?
that's kind of my point though, kid, right? Like there were a lot of games where they were like, with Mac Jones, throw it 17 times. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't we just letting this mug fly offense, and he almost got 4,000 yards. Like there's a lot that is predicated in quarterback play now with a lot of these systems where you don't have to be great. Like legitimately, what was Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins was like 4,500 yards or something like that. It got to a point last season where they were like, throw the ball 15 times.
Oh, because Dalvin Cook was killed?
Because Kirk was throwing him out of the game at the beginning of the season.
That too.
So there's minimal quarterback play that is getting you over 4,000 yards. But in our minds as Bears fans, right, we've never seen somebody crack 4,000 yards. We've never seen Jay Cutler was the best quarterback that's ever come through this city. And I think the most he ever had was 3,800 because he had a couple injuries in that season. So like in our minds, right, like 4,000 yards is this crazy number that you got to break, when in reality, right, like the few people in the NFL that didn't break it, that played full seasons and stuff like that, Kyler Murray almost broke it. He played 14 games.
Oh wow.
Hey, that's the thing. Y'all talk about the 4,000 yards like y'all about to hit Super Saiyan, like,
It's over 4,000.
Hey, remember when Goku finally goes Super Saiyan?
Yeah.
And then Frieza's just like, is this the legendary Super Saiyan?
What if that's the key? We just gotta have a guy pass 4,000 yards.
I've been hearing people talk about.
No, that's a legitimate statement though. Like, what if the key to our whole team success is finally having a modern QB?
Well, I think
that's
it
really
helps.
what we're talking about. 4,000 yards or not, 4,000 yards is the benchmark for a modern QB.
Yeah,
and we haven't had a modern QB or QB who's been able to play a modern style of game ever.
No, yeah, 100%, 100%.
And when we finally did get one, we gave him no help for so many seasons. We call him Smoking Jay because he quit.
I never said he quit, but there's a lot of people around Chicago that will.
Let's say.
The people who say that, I tell them the truth. Go look at the tape. Go look at how many times he got hit. I quit on YouTube.
He couldn't.
I'd sit on the sideline and collect my check and fake an injury the rest of my time here. As much as they let that kid get hit. They wasn't a kid at the time, but still, they let him get steamrolled. Yeah, I quit on YouTube. I don't care.
He
Pat,
did.
if we playing football, you let me get hit that much, I quit.
He did know. The people crack me up that do that. They be like, he ran upstairs after that, but he couldn't play in a football game. And I'm like, you ever
Didn't he tear
had a bad knee in a football game?
like
he ran up the stairs.
they say
He couldn't get hit by a car every 5 seconds, which is the equivalent of getting that's what getting hit by a linebacker is. Getting hit by a freaking car. You couldn't get hit by a car going
and
30 miles an
legitimately
hour.
his was
He could
every
walk
5
up the
seconds.
stairs.
Yeah.
Legitimately Jay's was every 5 seconds. No, it's just
He's playing Frogger and losing every single play.
Bro. it's sad that but honestly, right, like that's Bears fans mentality on football. Like legitimately, Bears fans mentality on football is that 4,000 yards is a great quarterback. 4,000 yards, that's Baker Mayfield. Half of y'all wouldn't want Baker Mayfield right now.
Baker has never cracked 4,000.
3,900.
Close.
Probably right there. You know what I'm saying? Probably right there.
But this just attempts, right?
He got hurt.
No, I'm saying in the grand scheme of things, they are throwing the ball at a higher frequency, so therefore the chance to get a completion for that amount of yards is greater. So this is
that's a fact.
So this is the taking more threes versus like shooting more threes equivalent in football.
That's an excellent take.
The shooting more three.
That's an excellent take.
That's great.
Yes, it is.
The thing about it is too though.
And no though, right? Because it's not everybody. Like I just said, Kirk dropped back for 15 passes one game, couple games actually.
And that's
one game.
This is the thing too though. Everybody don't got a Justin Jefferson.
That's the thing, right? And that's the thing to get a lot of them yards.
Or Debo Samuel or Jamar Chase. Like,
yeah,
you need wide receivers that have game breaking speed. And I'm not saying that was a great take, AD. That was a great take. But everybody don't got that luxury of legitimately having a number one. Like, we still got reservations. Like, we say Darnell Mooney is a number one.
Nah, I think he's a number one.
But you got a lot of people out there that's saying that he may be number two.
I asked those people to
I'm not saying.
No, I always ask those people to like look at what he did last year with 3 different schemes.
But
he got over 1,000 yards in 3 different schemes, bro.
You know the funny thing is though, the same way that you talk about Mooney and defending Mooney, and rightfully so. That's the weird thing I have about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, with 4 different coaches, so many different schemes, has never given you a season less than 3,000 yards. And he's had some situations where it's like, yo, now mind you, last season he did have an amazing team that he didn't do anything with. But before he got that amazing team, it was still the Browns.
He got.
I mean, he's had that team a couple years.
Last year.
What they just added Odell, right?
Last year they was gonna do some things. He got hurt in the first game.
Yeah.
Everything before that, he actually asked. He asked for all of that, and they just gave it to him after they won them 6 games. So,
if I'm a Chicago fan, I'm in the back of my mind, depending on how it plays out, because he's going to be in a Browns uniform next season. Because we know Deshaun's going to get suspended.
Yeah, Deshaun going to miss some time here.
We know he's going to be in a Browns uniform. It's
but you know what? Is he going to play?
He's not going to play.
He's probably not going to play.
He not gonna
if he don't play, no one, like, are you really going to fault him for it?
No.
Like, realistically, are you going to
no.
fault him for not playing?
No. And here's the thing. I don't fault any. Well, I don't know. The Browns a little weird for
the Browns
giving that man that contract.
I don't fault Baker for how he's handling the situation.
I don't fault Baker for how he's handling it. I'll say this. Two sides of it, right? I fault Baker for how he handled it before the Browns had made a decision. Mm-hmm. But the Browns have now moved on from you. I don't fault you for moving on from them. And they've legitimately moved on from you. But before the Browns had made a decision, Baker was acting like he was Deshaun Watson as a player, not the other stuff. And he was like, yo, I don't want to be here no more. And my issue with Baker was, you're not that guy. You're a nice quarterback in the NFL. You're not the dude.
And you know what? I'm
to his defense.
I'm gonna say this. Going back and now looking at it, especially with the KD situation, because I know what my take on Baker was before, because I did have a problem with how the Browns was handling that. And looking at the KD situation with the league, I can understand what you was talking about now. Like, if it's like KD's of that ilk where, hey,
you can tell people what to do.
I'm like, legit. I'm getting as
now
nice,
the thing that's stopping KD is the CBA.
Yeah. Because they got.
But also, right? Also, KD is the top 15 player. You can tell people what to do. But also,
KD's that dude.
You making NBA Finals demands, and you didn't win a game in the first round.
Hey,
I will say this though, in his defense,
who
Baker Mayfield.
He's had just as unstable a situation as Justin Fields, and he accomplished more. Now, mind you,
who Baker?
This is before they put some talent around him.
He asked for that.
No. So it developed around him, but you got to think about it.
No, because Muggs,
all the coaches he's had and stuff like that, and he had, like, out the gate, Baker Mayfield was worth the price of admission. He really was.
Nah, because
season one.
I gotta say this.
Season one, Baker Mayfield.
Did they win like 5?
No. That Muggs won what 5 or 6?
They won like 5 games that year,
and that's because Tyrod was starting, and they asked for Baker, just because he wanted to put pressure on them. Everything that you talking about, which is rightfully so, he did have an unstable situation. He asked for that situation.
Now that's where he's like KD.
Exactly.
When you say he asked for a situation, what exactly do you mean? He asked for 4 different coaches?
Pat will absolutely tell you when Baker got drafted.
No. See, this is the thing.
I was beating the table for it, and he would tell, hey, bro, he not that dude.
So he asked for all those different coaches.
This is the thing. This is the thing. He asked for Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski came in 1 year in 2020. He asked for Kevin Stefanski to be the coach because halfway through the season they had fired whatever buddy name was before him.
Yep.
And Kevin Stefanski was the guy that worked with him and was doing well with him. He asked for Kevin Stefanski. He asked for Jarvis Landry. He asked for Odell Beckham.
And didn't you?
And they went 11-5.
No, Odell didn't come till last year. Right? Or is Odell?
No, Odell came when Jarvis came.
No, Jarvis was there a season by himself.
Was it?
Jarvis was there a season by himself.
Yeah. He came the year after.
Jarvis was there 2019 or 2020, I want to say.
2019.
No, 2019 Jarvis came because they still were very mediocre.
No, Ringo's right.
What?
2020 he was there.
Yeah.
No, I know Jarvis was there in 20. Oh, who? Odell? No, I think Jarvis came in 2019.
When they made the trade, you called me to check and see if I was okay.
No, yeah, Odell. Yeah. Odell was there in 2020. He got.
Did he get hurt? He got hurt in 2020.
he?
I'm
Something
going to assume
happened.
Coming off an injury,
I
wasn't
think he did.
He might have been coming off an injury. Oh, that's right. He was coming off of an
He was
injury
coming
and
off an
came
injury.
back.
Yeah, no.
That was his first ACL, right?
Yeah.
Because didn't he tear it with y'all?
No.
So they
No,
went
he took
11-5, and Odell doesn't play the whole season. Then Odell doesn't get the whatever. I mean, we can blame whatever. All I'm saying is this: it's really odd that the only QB to get you to the playoffs gets kind of treated that way, and they say, "Oh, we want a kid, we want an adult, not a kid." But then you trade for someone who, I mean, if we're talking about karma. It's gonna be really interesting
but
how
bro,
they get around that
bro,
one, 'cause you
if we
traded for better
keeping it
talent.
a stack,
But you can't say that Deshaun Watson's reputation or, I mean, guilty. I mean, innocent until proven guilty. But unfortunately, we live in a world where you're guilty until proven innocent. And so far, it just don't look good for him.
Right.
I agree with you. I just think the only thing that I look at with that whole situation is, right, like, we know in the NFL, this ain't nothing new. Talent trumps all. No matter what you do, no matter how you are. Like, Henry Ruggs killed somebody in a car accident. If Henry Ruggs was Devontae Adams, Henry Ruggs wouldn't be in jail right now.
I don't believe that. That's a wild statement. I would cut that out.
Ray Lewis.
I would cut that.
Ray Lewis never went to jail.
Come on now. Ben
Ray Lewis
Roethlisberger?
didn't run his car
Ben
into someone.
Roethlisberger?
It
No,
was
Ray
at the
Lewis
scene.
was an accomplice to a murder and nobody talks about it.
Okay, accomplice to a murder versus holding the actual murder weapon and killing someone.
Ray Lewis never missed any time.
You
in
know
the
what you
NFL.
just said? You know, we talked about plausible deniability, reasonable doubt, stuff like that versus, no, you definitively drove this car. You definitively drove 156 miles to the back of this car. You definitively killed a family.
Yeah. 100%.
I wouldn't make that statement. That's a tough statement.
But we've seen it in the NFL.
Please cut this
It's not a statement that we've never seen happen before, though.
Because they
Please cut this section
have
out,
so
bro.
many to Pat's point.
No, I'm telling you what has happened in the NFL. It's not me saying I think it's okay. What I'm saying is that people legitimately have killed people in the NFL, and the NFL was like, "Can he play?"
Oh yeah.
Like,
And nobody says nothing about it.
The only thing that the one case, because you all have the one thing that trumps that is Aaron Hernandez. That whole situation was like, okay, we're gonna play like we don't know, but let that man play until we have to admit that we know. And then by that time he was in court.
I'll give you.
So it's the NFL is very blatant with the precedents they've set. You have to pretty much have the smoking gun, no pun intended, while and we catch you and everybody else catch you all at the same time.
Yeah.
For us to actually do something.
If you got any deniability,
they did that.
if you got any deniability whatsoever,
if there's any doubt, they will run with that doubt.
But they did the same thing. Greg Hardy. No, legit. Greg Hardy beat his wife and played 10 games.
Yeah.
And then after that, he said, "You know what? I'm done with this football thing. Let's go to the UFC."
Yeah, they're gonna
let him play.
It's a $1 billion organization. It's not a crazy thought to think that they're gonna overlook somebody messing up so that their product on the field is good.
Yeah,
they do it every year.
It's unfortunate.
Deshaun Watson is arguably just as popular or even more popular than Ray Lewis was in the 2000s, and he really almost got Bill Cosby. The only reason why he really hasn't is because, unfortunately for him, the testimony that was given was proven to be nothing illicit. What's the word I'm looking for? There was nothing illegal about what happened. They didn't consider it sexual assault, anything like that, and he stood his ground that entire time. There's a big difference.
No, but
if there was anything,
it don't matter.
That was the
if they
very
had him
beginning.
on tape like Robert Kraft. Now that's a better one. Like,
That was the very beginning.
Robert
Ray Lewis
Kraft
was the
got
beginning
his own
of them
tape, Hank
setting
Hank.
that principle.
But bro,
Ray
No,
Lewis
but
was the very
this
beginning
is
of
the
that.
thing I'll say. This is the thing I'll
matter.
say. Pick any quarterback that's not named Deshaun Watson. That's not a good quarterback. He wouldn't even be considered on anything right now. He wouldn't be on a team right now. Houston would have cut him outright. Davis Mills has the same situation. Houston would have cut him that day.
Sam Darnold.
Talent trumps all in
I
sports.
think the financial
In football.
investment trumps.
No.
In football.
No. Yeah,
Financial
football.
Yeah, more
dedicated.
football than anybody else.
At the end of the day,
Honestly, both football, soccer,
Cause
and
look,
American football. Are
he
different.
going. Oh yeah, and soccer.
Soccer.
Because they record soccer. They
He's
record.
going to take that. He's going to take that year off.
Look, wrong one.
And if the Browns come back and they win 12 games, Deshaun Watson is the guy.
Yeah.
And that's all.
And there's people that will always remember it. There's people that will always hold him against him, whether he's innocent and proven guilty or not. But it's just how the NFL has been, and no one goes after the NFL for being that way. And the few people that do go after the NFL
lose.
don't make a dent. They lose.
How can you go after the NFL?
And this the other thing. This
Because the NFL, this is what I'm saying, right? The NFL allows it if you're good. Ben Roethlisberger paid Shorty off.
Yeah, he's been
Won 2 more Super Bowls.
rapey for a while.
Mike Vick.
Ben Roethlisberger is absolutely going to be in the Hall of Fame. Nobody's going to hold it against him.
See, that's the one
trial he
thing.
went
The Mike Vick situation is a little different.
But no, it's not.
Yes, it is, because he went to jail.
No, it's not different for that reason. Hold on, I got you.
No, that's the biggest difference. No, that's the biggest
He did
difference.
real jail time.
He
Wasn't doing the dog fighting, but went to jail for it. Rapey.
Yeah.
2 more Super Bowls.
No, but he goes to jail for it immediately. Gets out of jail. They trade Donovan McNabb. 12 wins. Oh, take this 100 M's, Michael. We love you. Like,
hold on, but I got something else for you too.
Like,
in the male dominated sports, and we'll take these two. It'll be the NBA.
And the UFC,
or even
too.
I won't even put the NBA in it. It's the NFL. The NFL is one of the only American sports where it is like almost probably in the top 80 percentile or low 90s, male dominated as far as the focus and who the audience is. So they're not worried about a female audience like everything else in this country. Women spend the most money on everything else, I would say, except for something like the NFL or football.
The problem with everyone's statement, though, is you can't go after the NFL. One, each team is independently owned, and they're under the NFL, which means each team has the obligation to do their own investigation and things of that nature.
Right.
The NFL levies fines and things against those teams, and those teams are forced to cut those players. But at the same time, it's almost like any of us. Like, if I get accused of something, I say, well, no, I didn't do it. My job can't just fire me, because then I could sue them for wrongful termination, especially if it comes out that I didn't do what I did. So now that employer has set themselves up for me to sue them,
Right.
because that's how the laws work in America. So unfortunately, while everyone's saying the NFL allows this, NFL allows this, no, the NFL is technically a business.
Yes and no.
Teams
allow this is the
there's
thing.
A process that has to happen.
No.
And if that legal process plays out, then you can't sit there like for instance, let's say Deshaun Watson is completely innocent. Hypothetically, we don't know, and frankly, I don't care to have an opinion on that. But we don't know, right? We can't sit there and demonize him. He can't be fined. He really shouldn't even be suspended, because it's very possible that in today's day and age, all of that could be fabricated.
But
that's possible.
But kid, that's the thing. And that's what the NFL does control suspensions. The teams have to levy them out, but the NFL is the one that ends up controlling suspensions in this situation, because they know that teams will be like, well, Deshaun got off legally, so we're not worried about it. In fact, the NFL has administered suspensions before the legal case is even finished.
And
Ray Rice
have been appealed.
Ray Rice
was suspended.
Kareem Hunt
Well before Kareem Hunt was suspended.
Kareem Hunt.
Well before anything legal came into play.
But they set that precedent themselves. If they hadn't done it.
But what I'm saying is that the NFL, while yes, people can't individually go after the NFL and things like that, the NFL has set the precedent that you're making us look bad. We will absolutely get you up out of here if we feel like you're not of value to us. And weirdly enough, you normally see it with running backs. They get themselves into trouble. Yeah. But like my man's last year that dang near killed his girl, he played in the playoffs. I don't even remember the offensive lineman that almost beat his girl to death.
Was it?
No, he got cut.
No, he's still on the team right now.
No,
he played in the playoffs.
We're talking about the white guy that beat the black girl.
Yeah, he's still on the team right now.
He got cut.
He played.
When he get cut? After the season?
No, he got cut.
He played. Like,
Bro,
what's his name? He got cut.
I gotta look him up. He did not. He's an offensive lineman. If he got cut, I missed that because I'm pretty sure he played in the playoffs. And even, outside of that, right? Like in the Deshaun Watson situation, the NFL hasn't stepped in yet. They doing their individual arbitration and all that stuff, but they haven't stepped in yet.
While the teams have actively covered it.
They haven't. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he at training camp?
Bro, this man was at training camp and OTAs.
Yeah, he been there.
He's still practicing, right? Like there's situations where the NFL has set precedent and said, you're making our league look bad. We don't want you to be a part of our league. You're suspended for X amount of games.
But in this situation, with Deshaun, they have a lot of fish to fry as far as they don't want to make the teams, the two owners that have actively helped cover things up or try to sweep things under the rug. They don't want him folded up in everything that happens with Deshaun.
Yeah, no, Chad Wheeler got cut in 2020. He didn't play last year at all.
Wasn't that? But that didn't happen in 2020. That was last year. That was before last season started.
Yep.
Chad,
unfortunately,
his trial should have happened last season, but it didn't. It got pushed back. But it happened. It happened late 2019. I believe.
Oh, did the video just get released late or something?
I don't know. There's so many domestic
He hasn't played in 2
situations,
seasons.
unfortunately.
Oh, did the video get released late or something? Because I remember we didn't see that till last season, right?
Nah, we really didn't.
I thought he was still on it, so maybe he was already gone by then. Because I remember we just heard nothing else about it.
They got to get the domestic violence.
But even here's the thing, right?
They're not gonna get.
Here's the thing. There's been times where they've cut those people or released those people or whatever on the spot.
And then there's times
or
he got released the moment that stuff came out.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to him. Shout out to the Seahawks in that situation.
Shout out to the Seahawks.
Yeah, but there's been times, right, where the NFL has said we don't care about the legal proceedings. We got enough evidence here. You're done.
So hold on, can we break it down? Thank you. Can we break it down to specific teams? Some teams will allow it, some teams won't.
Well,
Andy Reid.
If teams step in, right, Andy Reid Andy Reid cut Kareem Hunt.
Hard pass. Like he doesn't allow it.
Andy Reid don't allow it, right? But that's the reason why the NFL has to be at the head of it, because in a situation with Deshaun Watson, if Deshaun Watson had still wanted to play for the Texans would have been like, yeah, go ahead, go out there.
But if the Texans also wanted to cut him immediately, they could have.
Yeah, because of how NFL contracts are. You get your guaranteed money. Nothing else is guaranteed.
So, I mean, really, I'm sorry. Let me say this clearly. They've really gathered data on themselves on which teams will allow certain things to happen and which teams won't.
Are you trying to say, is it a self-regulating entity?
I'm saying
some are and some aren't.
I want you to understand that when you start getting to self-regulated entities, when we start talking about like financial crimes and stuff like that, you'd be surprised why a lot of these people get away with millions upon millions of dollars in embezzlement and all that stuff. And the SEC investigates it. They investigate themselves to sit there and find people. Yeah, it's kind of weird how many
so the NFL has had a model to follow then.
Well, I mean, it's just right. Like, what's it about? If I win a Super Bowl, I get X amount of dollars.
Right. That's crazy.
Do you think Robert Kraft cares if Bill Belichick's out there recording practices?
No. That's wild.
The NFL cares.
Right.
Because now you got 29 other owners that's looking at you crazy, right? Like there's so many different situations where it comes into play, and if
Bill hadn't won, it would be different though.
If Bill hadn't won, nobody would care, right? And everybody keeps their nose clean because everybody's doing it. But the thing that is the main point of all of it, I don't even know how we got down this rabbit hole, but we here. The thing that is the main point of all of it is that it's based on the player that the team cares.
True.
The Steelers might be upset at Ben Roethlisberger for what he did. But by no means are they going to cut their Super Bowl winning quarterback.
But they're a team. They're also a team that's at the president. So we know
It's about how replaceable
the Browns
you are.
won't care. Washington won't care.
I don't even think it's the team. I think it's about how replaceable.
Miami won't care. Philly cares.
None of them care. It's about how replaceable the player is.
None of them do, bro.
Kareem Hunt is replaceable. He's a running back. Running backs are a dime a dozen.
Also, it's optics and fan base. If your fan base has
you know what kills that?
Influence.
The fan base
You know what kills that?
either.
Winning.
You got to think about
Winning
it, bro.
kills it. I'm gonna tell you this: if Deshaun Watson comes out whenever he's able to play again and goes 12-4, nobody's gonna talk about Deshaun Watson.
If they go 14-3, like I just told you, Deshaun Watson is a god.
That's crazy.
It's just how the NFL has allowed itself to be run.
They've proven that time and time again. Every single time they got these rules in place to make it look like, oh, we're going to change this up and follow this.
But those rules apply to the minority.
But those rules
they apply to the players that aren't the upper echelon.
They never do it. Like it happens every time. It's proven.
Like you think, like Kareem Hunt's replaceable. They replaced him already.
He a running back.
A year later.
Yeah.
If Pat Mahomes got caught in that same situation, I would bet Andy Reid doesn't cut him.
I feel like a lot of the situations,
and it's gonna take that.
No, a lot of the situation that players get themselves in is self-inflicted, but it's also the enabling that happens. So, Deshaun Watson was enabled. Oh boy, what's his name? That with the drunk driving.
Henry Ruggs.
When you say enabled,
enabled means that an outside entity is helping you continue your bad habits.
The team was providing.
When you take a look at that, I mean,
that's a different situation with Henry Ruggs than it is.
No, but I'm saying with Henry Ruggs, the NFL tries to avoid those situations with fresh or rookie orientation.
But those are poorly
there.
Yeah, but
we just draw the clear definitive
those are
line of
poorly
not
ran
comparing those
franchises, though.
No, I mean I'm not comparing them to. I'm just saying, only correlation I'm making is the fact that the difference between what the NFL has instituted optically to get around situations and what individual teams will do to get a player in or out of a situation. That's the only comparison I'm making.
Well, just out of sensitivity of the nature of it all,
of course.
To be honest with you, we shouldn't even, there's no correlation to be made between someone committing murder.
Yeah, no.
Correct.
And someone, being accused of sexual assault.
Correct.
Now, if you wanted to compare Ben Roethlisberger, stuff like that, that falls all in the realm of sexual misconduct, stuff like that. That makes sense. But like, there's nothing we could have done or the NFL could even do in regards to a player.
He was
deciding.
stupid.
That was completely.
He was stupid, and this is the thing. One, all of that stuff, like there's certain things that they actually do to like get your players prepared for stuff. But it's CYA.
Right, that's what I'm saying. To absolve themselves.
Most of that stuff is CYA. You have to have these training sessions. You have to have these meetings. You have to so that you're covered, and a player can't say, "Well, I didn't know I shouldn't be out there at the casino at 7 a.m. doing that." You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff is.
Bro, have you seen that strip? Have y'all been on that strip where you crashed?
Yeah,
I have not.
That street, like I've seen people speeding on that street before, but it ain't like I can't imagine doing $160 on that street. Like I could never imagine doing $160 on that street.
Yeah, it wasn't a country road.
Now, mind you, the reason there's no crosswalk right there, so you don't have to worry about hitting some. Well, no, because there is
hitting
on
a
some parts
pedestrian.
of it.
No, I was gonna say you do got to worry about hitting a person. It's just I don't know.
I just couldn't imagine. Honestly, it was a very poor decision by him. Apparently, he was fighting with his girlfriend at the time while he was driving. I don't know exactly how that happened. Very fast car that he was in. You can make every excuse in the world. It's still something that shouldn't have happened. It's very stupid. It's very unfortunate. And, my prayers are out with that family because that was just horrific.
Yeah, that's a I don't know. That's young and dumb.
Yeah.
And I can't even say young. That's just dumb.
No, that's fair.
That's just dumb.
I would say young because guess what? In our city, we see our kids do it all the time. How many people have we heard in Chicago, have these crashes and Hellcats and stuff like that?
That's true.
Some of them, like not too long ago, what was it, 2-3 years ago, that kid who had just graduated, had that Camaro, was flying down a residential street doing about 90 and killed a family and his friends.
Yeah.
That happened. They had all three kids in the Camaro died, and I think 2 people in the car.
Bro,
so I mean, I would say it's being young.
On a Monday morning, I've been driving certain places and I've seen multiple cars driven into homes, pillars under the L, like leaving or left, abandoned, fully smashed and crashed up. It's a crazy, like I said, like you all have mentioned, it's an idiotic and thing or gives immaturity.
It's definitely
immaturity would be a good
immaturity, and it's immature people with a lot of resources, and they aren't necessarily educated on using those resources responsibly. Because you can purchase what you would like. However, how you use said purchases is
the funny thing is any of us could afford that car that Ruggs was in. It was a Corvette.
True, dude.
That thing goes 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Base model, $60,000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he on a rookie deal. Well, I mean, not anymore.
Any of us could afford it.
Yeah.
It's the decisions you make, and unfortunately, how did this turn into that? Anyway, let's move back to
I don't know. I have no idea how we got because you said you can't say that
you can't compare.
You can't. No, you said I can't say that the NFL would just look past murder.
Yeah, that's a tough statement. I can't really back that one. I don't think the NFL looks past murder. I think the NFL can only do so much, especially given the circumstances.
They don't look past it, but like we said before, if there's any reasonable doubt in any of a player's wrongful actions, they will take, with the right circumstances and the player being talented enough, they will take said reasonable doubt and exploit that. So they will exploit the situation.
It's funny because I think it's just public perception. It's all about who you favor, who your athlete is.
Oh yeah, who we like.
Who you like. Look at Kobe Bryant was accused of rape, right? It comes out that young lady, there's some reports out there that says that young lady fabricated that. He still had to pay to get out that jam. That man, even in death, they still brought up, he was accused of rape 20 years ago, stuff like that. Like
same with Derek, same with Patrick Kane.
Well, Kane was a whole different. That was a wild one too. But Kobe's was weird, and I maybe I don't remember it right, but didn't they say she had like 8 different
other semen?
Yeah, she had other semen.
Yeah,
and like none of it was Kobe's.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So again, right? Like that's a situation where the league,
believe all women, right?
In the NFL is looking at you and saying, the league in the NBA is looking at you and saying, there's doubt. Yeah. We can let this play out in court, or you can pay her and get her to go away.
Look at Big Ben's situation. Big Ben's first situation, and I sent you the link in that, and I remember that vividly. She's reportedly bragged about the encounter for months.
Yeah.
Or for a while, and then sat there and said, okay, she was raped.
But
so
also,
it's like
those
and those were people who were associated with her that said it. So it's like I'm not sitting there condoning Ben. I mean, I don't know him. I'm not personally a fan. Like I don't have anything against him, but like there's no reason for me to defend him. Like there's no vested interest in there. Like you don't support the Breeze. Like I have no reason to do it. But if those reports are saying that young lady is bragging about the encounter.
Hey, but like you said,
should I even still be mentioning it then?
No, but like you said, I've heard it said before, plenty of times in different situations, we make excuses for the people we like. If they are liked enough, there will be enough excuses made for them in order for the situation
and
to go away.
You also make excuses for champions.
R. Kelly is a good example of that.
Jesus, here we go.
Ooh, yeah, it is, and it hits locally because some people really do not care.
To this day, that man got 30 years. To this day, they're still saying, "Oh, well, what about those kids' parents and stuff like this?"
Bro,
Yeah,
like,
they still going
let me get this
crazy,
straight.
bro. It's crazy.
You totally ignored the underage assault and all that stuff, like all of that. That wasn't the first thing that came to mind. You immediately went to where are those kids' parents. That brings up a lot about you. Like,
yeah.
I can't get with that. I've stopped listening to R. Kelly's music since in freshman in high school, when all that stuff started coming out and stuff like that. So I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
My only thing
We're
with
very
that,
biased when it comes to that.
see, that's the
Very
thing, right?
biased.
Like you stopped, so I can respect your decision on that. The people that kill me are the mugs that we
separate music from person.
No. Well, I can do that. I can absolutely separate the artist from the activity. I'm great at it because most artists are scumbags. Just like a lot of athletes are scumbags. The thing that kills me is the people that you knew what was going on with R. Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Everybody know R. Kelly was over at McDonald's.
Or in front of the high school.
Everybody know.
Yeah, everybody knew that.
Everybody in Chicago knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you holier than thou and you can't listen to R. Kelly music. Well, you wasn't speaking up back then. Don't try to act like you're a saint now. Because if you was a saint, you would have had something to say back then. That's dogs.
I agree.
Like kids situation, right? I can respect it because in kids situation, he said, I ain't listening since a freshman in high school. That's 30 years ago.
Dag. Good Lord. It's been 15 years.
But
I haven't listened to it in 15 years. And
but
like back then,
but that's a completely different, like you stopped listening at a time where he was still making hits.
Right.
There's people out here now that want to act like, oh, we can't believe this happened. I mean, you knew what was happening. And you know what happened? When the first trial and everything went down, he dropped the chocolate factory and all of a sudden you forgot.
Bro.
The Boondocks dropped it as a joke, but you tell me I'm wrong.
Give me 1 second.
It was.
We were. It's worse. It's
came
worse
out,
because we were laughing at the fact that he was urinating on a young lady.
Trapped in the
People
closet.
were actively passing around child pornography.
Trapped in the closet.
And that's what I mean, right? Like it's about for me, it's about, and I'm all for you growing and you moving on and you say, but like you knew what was going on.
Yeah, a lot of people chose to ignore it.
Like legitimately, I was a kid. I really had no idea what was going on until I got older, and I was like,
that was happening.
That was happening.
I've encountered people who said they've run into him, and it was weird. It was never like fortunately for them, they never were alone with him. But I've run into a lot of people who said they've either men who hooped with him and he was acting weird, and you could like.
Yo, did you hear the Tank story when they was hooping?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yo,
and then I heard
Tank's story.
Tank was like, he just brought a whole bunch of mugs from the jail, just bodying them up, acting real.
He
weird.
had regular. I knew that.
Like,
I've heard about the gym he was hooping at, and he would hoop sometimes locally at one of the gyms, like at midnight, like most celebrities tend to do.
Yeah. And
he would hoop with the same team every time, and they wouldn't shoot. Like they might have been right at the rim, and they would pass it right back out to Robert. Like
I've played against Rob before.
Who?
We calling him Rob now? Is that what we doing?
Yeah.
Listen,
we call him.
That's
Robert.
what they called him on the court, and I didn't know it was him until the day was over. But
he didn't have a mask on.
You stupid.
It was at what, Piper's Alley Export, the one up north with the glass.
I think we're gonna call it an episode on that one right there, boys.
That's the name of the A sport, dog. Piper's Alley. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, on that note, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. I think we just gave them like a 3.5 hour episode, bro. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us.
Like 99% sure it was Piper's Alley.
As always, I don't even know what to go with that. Leave a comment, drop a like. Appreciate y'all for showing love. It's your boy Pat the Designer, joined by the pettiest man alive, Mr. V Kid.
Cut it.
It's the 2 letters. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago, please. Peace.